Akiva need a podcast, and they need your help. Can you make it onto the wheel? Rob and Akiva need a podcast. Yeah, they'll find themselves. Your ideas, they'll talk about it till you got it, you'll feel. Every weekend, better attend. You can guess what will be coming up next. Rob and Akiva need a podcast.
Yes, that's right. Rob and Akiva need a podcast. Episode number 167. Bracket season continues with a 3-name celebrity bracket here today. Of course, let's welcome back a man who goes by just 2 names. Here he is, unless you count Uncle Kiwi. It's Akiva Wienerker.
First of all, if you count that Uncle Kiwi, that would also be 2, unless it was like, but
it would be 4.
Kids...
Uncle Kiwi, Akiva Wienerker.
Oh, well, my kids say, like, because I do
Uncle Kiwi Wienerker.
Anytime I refer to myself as Uncle Kiwi, my kids say that makes you sound like the P word. And like so they don't like it. But so maybe it would be like Uncle Kiwi, felon number 5, 6, whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Kiwi, we are coming off of a week where almost unanimous praise for the jingle bracket last week with Jacob Redman. It was a fantastic start to bracket season last week where we went through 36 different jingles. I did see some people quibbling with some of the selections that were made, but we didn't get dragged. We
got called boomers a few times for not knowing the goldfish jingle.
Yeah.
People like to tell us, like, if someone knows something, they love to hoard over you that you don't know it. But I feel like cumulatively, I don't know. I feel like I know more stuff than most of the people who are making fun of us. Like yes, they know the jingle bracket, but like, let's go mano a mano for like, or one mano for like, who knows more college basketball teams or
interesting.
Could
so
name
somebody,
more of my
if somebody
nephews.
shames you for not knowing one fact, you feel like, well, I know overall more facts than you do.
Probably. Now, most of them are like in a very narrow region.
Yeah.
But like, how many people in the biathlon can you name? Probably less than me.
So just to go back to one thing, Jacob said that, I guarantee you, your kids know the Goldfish song. They do not. They looked at me like I had 9 heads.
Well, I think kids don't watch commercials.
Back at me. Yeah.
Unless they're watching one of those like streaming services that still have commercials, like Hulu or Peacock or whatever. Like, there's but kids don't watch any commercials. Maybe YouTube has more ads now. I don't know.
Perhaps. Okay, but let's get to our 3-name bracket because we have some judges here with us, some of which have outs eventually that we need to be mindful of. Okay, so all right, Akiva, talk us through, because this was one where this week from very early on we heard, and I wasn't exactly sure why, Akiva's driving this bus. This is an Akiva joint.
Where did you hear this, first of all?
Oh, that's what the people on the streets were saying.
People were just saying Akiva's driving. And now, famously, like, I barely drive, so I don't know what bus I'd be driving. But so you heard that, and we had no contact this week, but like through 3rd and 4th hand people are telling you Akiva's driving this bus.
Yes, which in my mind makes me like alarm bells trigger. Like, oh boy.
Oh, I mean, this is the 167th episode of this.
Yes.
I don't want to like flex, but I've driven the bus many times, and like, we're still not canceled.
And many times that bus has gone right off the cliff.
What are you talking about? Name one. This never happened. We've done some of the classic episodes are like all Akiva input. But here's the thing. You have either like 30 employees behind you, but most of them are dedicated to like, I don't know, other shows, not Rob and Akiva need a podcast. Yeah. So Sam Moore is
the
very
profit
helpful.
Centers, you mean?
Yeah, not the loss leaders.
Right.
And but I did have an idea. Can we stop down for a second?
Okay.
So you famously recently bought a new house. Could you somehow like mention to your wife at some point that like, you don't have to, I mean, we're gonna be lying here, like say like RAANAP is the most profitable show on the network, and then refer to your home as the house that RAANAP built, and see how your wife reacts.
Let me see. Let's see what she says.
Can you try it this week? Be earnest and be like, no, you don't understand. It's like the most popular show. The commercials are double the price of a Survivor show.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Akiva,
anyway,
when we bring in our guests,
I just want to say one more thing.
Yes.
First of all, if you're listening to this in the audio feed for the first time in a little while, this is a video episode also, so you can check it out on YouTube.
For the record, for the most part, we do always record video, but Akiva never has his camera on. But today Akiva does have his camera on.
Well, yeah, I thought there's some visual elements we're going to have. So the reason why you're saying I drove the bus is there's like I had never made a PowerPoint before. My 8-year-old son, we've discussed before.
Yes.
Makes PowerPoints every day. Like someone's birthday makes a PowerPoint, tries to explain why we should like go to the park, PowerPoint. So there's a lot of PowerPoint
fun.
making him. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it makes him very popular in school. But I had never made one in my life, but I made a whole slideshow. I had a lot of help from listener Robbie Freeman, but we have a whole thing to share, and I hope you like it, Rob.
Okay, I hope so too. All right, Akiva, tell us about the panel that you put together.
Absolutely. So I tried to find the people I know who know the most about celebrities, because we're gonna know these people, but people we're in our we're older, like the listeners like to remind us every single day. Yeah. Than some of the fan base.
Later days. Yeah.
I mean, we're not. That makes it sound like we're dying. We're in our later days.
I just came up with that.
I mean, okay, fine. We're in our later. It's better than the B word.
I invented that. Yeah.
It's better than boomers.
Yeah. Okay, but keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, I found two great guests who are both celeb experts. They know every celeb in the books. So first, welcome back, returning champion to the program, Maggie Morgan. Maggie, welcome.
Hi. Wait, what am I a recurring champ from?
Well, I don't know.
When did I win? I love winning. I don't remember winning.
You've been on the podcast before.
This is my 4th time.
Oh my gosh. One more, you get a hat that I never will send.
I know.
We have to do a whole shipment of those hats.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is my 4th time on the podcast, but it's my 2nd time being on a video version of the podcast." I was like, "What? When does this happen?" You were just saying that it never happens.
Almost never.
Thank you for.
I guess I really have a face for a podcast. I guess I don't know.
Now, half of your appearances here have been video.
Yeah, thank you for the stats, Maggie.
Yes. Okay. Of course, Maggie Morgan of the Real Housewives RHAP Up with Jacob Jones, and about to kick off another season of the Temptation Island RHAP Up on the Hot Dummies on Islands podcast feed with her co-host, Kirsten McInnes.
I'm so excited.
Probably a person with a double 5-timer over.
Is that CBS or is that like a Paramount Plus exclusive, Temptation Island?
It's actually on Peacock.
Oh,
yes.
CBS lost Temptation Island, right?
No, they never had it.
Yeah, it was on USA.
It was actually originally, this is the 3rd different platform to carry Mark L. Wahlberg's Temptation Island. It was originally on Fox back in the day.
Oh, that makes sense.
It came back for 2 seasons on the USA Network, and then USA, is lumped in with the Peacock of it all.
And for those of you who don't know what Temptation Island is, it's probably the trashiest reality television show that's on air. And I spent the entirety of last season on the podcast asking Kirsten why someone would ever go on this show. And this season, I know 2 people on the show.
Oh, IRL.
Randomly. I know them in real life. So I maybe will ask them at the end of the season, why did you go on this show? It'll be a fun time.
That's a good plug.
Okay. All right.
Rob, would you go on Temptation Island with me?
With you? Oh, podcast Temptation Island?
Yeah,
so I would then podcast with other
I would get so
people. And then just try it on and see how it feels. I guess I would be like sort of like hanging out with people, and I guess there would be temptation. Should we do a podcast? There'll be like a bunch of like microphones and like mixers around and chairs and coffee and shows to watch, and then it's like should we do it? Would you come back to my studio and podcast with me?
Yeah, and then there's like a scene of me like you starting a show with someone, and like a single tear rolls down my cheek as I like see you through the bushes.
Yeah, they would
you guys are such nerds. Oh my god.
All right,
you're the biggest nerds ever.
Well,
and
that's
I love
such a good Maggie. I think it's a good pitch, like podcast Temptation Island.
No, it is. That's why it was so funny. I was like, you two are just
yeah.
Okay, boomers honestly better than nerds, Rob.
Yeah,
that was stung.
True. All right.
So Maggie, celebrity expert, love celebs, excited to have her here. We also have not just a 4-timer, we have a first-timer here. From my days at the awards, at the Olympics, my biathlon buddy in crime from NBC Sports. We have Amelia Costa making her first appearance on the podcast.
Hi,
Amelia,
thanks
how
for
are
having
you?
me. I'm good. I hope it's not bad business to admit that this isn't just my first time on this podcast. It's my first time on any podcast. So hopefully at the end of this,
Could
you're
have
like,
fooled
wow,
me.
I'm shocked. I can't believe that was your first time, and not like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah, everyone tweeted Amelia and say, wow, could have fooled me. This sounded like her 100th time.
Well, what's her Twitter handle?
Atosta. My last name's Acosta, big toast enthusiast. So we put those together. I'm at Atosta.
A big toast as in like baked bread or
Yeah. No, classic just toast, baked bread. Give it a good browning. Put a topping on it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my thing.
So you thought it was like she likes toasting.
Toastmaster,
with Chaim. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a problem with the celebratory toast. That's a thrill too. It's a nice thing to do.
At work, we have 5 o'clock shots every day. It's a different culture. We're outside the United States.
Yeah.
And I have to pretend to drink every single day. It's very difficult because I don't drink like hard alcohol.
And then, Amelia, could you just tell us a little bit quickly about what it is like to work with Uncle Kiwi IRL?
It was the thrill of my life. Akiva taught me about fantasy biathlon and the fact that there are people the world over handicapping biathlon races. It was an utter joy. We did overnight shifts for the Olympics, and I see you guys got my request that we have to make some contractual references to Peacock for my appearance. So thank you very much for that. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. We communicated exclusively over email about biathlon for several months, and then actually got to meet in person once the Olympics started.
Wow.
And Akiva was everything I hoped he would be.
Wow. This is a glowing endorsement.
She's being facetious. She's trying to be nice.
No. I'm not at all. I mean every word that I say. He was.
She's here. Like she agreed to come on the show.
Yeah.
So like, if she like real, if I was like offensive the whole time, I feel like she would have said no. Probably. I don't know.
100%.
But yeah, no, Rob. So I'm very excited. We have 2 celebrity guests. Me and you, we know celebs. I think all 32 celebs, or there's going to be more than 32, spoiler, that we go through, people will know. I do want to set a couple parameters or explain like how the bracket was picked.
Okay.
So I asked for suggestions from the audience. We got thousands and thousands of names suggested because people could suggest also as many as they wanted. Some people suggested a whole bracket. Some people suggested one person. I realized very early on that I think it would have been a mistake to include dead celebrities, because I just think having Alexander Graham Bell and Martin Luther King going up against, Helena Bonham Carter.
What is your definition of celebrity?
Well, that's a good question too, and we'll definitely argue about that. But I just think I
wouldn't consider Alexander Graham Bell to be in my top 10,000 celebrities.
Well, but what
what he did though?
People with 2 names. What made the Graham cracker?
I know what he did. Yeah. I mean, I guess without the telephone, there's probably no podcasting. But
what do you think is a celebrity? So honestly, I sort of went closer to where you are, and I'd say for the most part,
North Carolina,
the overwhelming majority of our entrants are in the celebrity world, either actors or singers or athletes. Not too many athletes, but there maybe are a couple people who have transcended the medium of just being famous. But I think to me, a celebrity in 2022 is a famous person. Like, and you had 3 names also, since a lot of people are suggesting juniors. We didn't include anybody who was like, Ken Griffey Jr. That didn't count. Junior to me is not a full name.
Yes.
Kim Kardashian made a terrible decision in getting divorced, so she dropped the West from her name. Really could have been a contender in the bracket, but she's out. So I think hopefully you'll.
Isn't that one hyphenated last name if you're Kardashian West?
So you think if there's no hyphen, it's 3 names, but if there's a hyphen, it's we had this problem a lot. There will be there will be a couple people in there that their name is, let's say, their maiden name, quote unquote, and then their married name. But if you've been in the public eye for 60 years and you keep both names or something, God bless you, I say, and that you're a 3-name celebrity at this point.
Yeah, I feel like a hyphenate is 2.5 names.
You think a hyphenated is 2.5 names?
Yeah. I would agree, Rob.
Yeah.
I also think it's, your argument, which I understand, it's your way of being, is like, you want less women in the bracket is basically what you're saying at that point.
No, I just don't think that they are a 3-name celebrity. I feel like that is that's a hyphenated last name. If it's 3 different words, but I think that a one word with a hyphen in it is not 2 words.
All right.
What about a ubiquitous initial, like a Samuel L. Jackson? I
think that's 2 names and an initial. Michael J. Fox, I think, is not a 3-name celebrity.
It's a good question. I think Samuel Jackson, Michael J. Fox, they were suggested, they did not make it in.
Good.
I'm also going to endow all 3 of you with the power. I will not have this power. You can
to tie shoes.
No, don't make fun of me. You at any point during the first round of the bracket, if you say that person is A, not a celebrity, B, they don't have 3 names, C, I don't care about them, you can take out a person from the bracket and put in your own person.
Oh,
all 3 of you. You get one.
Well, how do I know it's not going to be somebody that's going to be later on in the bracket?
You can ask. You can say, is this person in the bracket or not? That's a good question. I didn't really think about that. Yeah. Maybe you want to use your super veto then later.
Well,
I don't know.
In the past, that they've been replaced with somebody that was from like from the like snub pile.
Now, I could have created a snub pile that probably would have been smart, but I was very busy this week.
Can we just get one super veto?
Just you get one super veto. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So Rob is, saying that Akiva drove the bus, and then he's upset about the way that the bus is being driven.
That's right. That's right, Maggie. That's right.
Where you're nitpicking at this point. This is like so far. We're crushing it.
But that Maggie, had I said to Akiva, you got this. I trust your vision. Whatever you do is fine. I will, and then I would be a hypocrite. Akiva, like absolutely nobody, blank. Akiva, I got this.
You two do need to go on Podcast or Temptation Island.
No, I think we need.
I'm sensing something. I think maybe
I think we need
of your relationship.
I think we need like Dr. Amanda to come on, like a therapist, and maybe work some stuff out. But that's for next week. Maybe we'll do a therapist bracket, and like the winning therapist gets to come on and treat us or something next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna start the bracket. We could also argue about the voting. We already argued before the podcast started. I said I'm just not going to vote because we have an even number of panelists.
Which I said also makes no sense. It's Rob and Akiva need a podcast, and Akiva's like, I'm just gonna I made the bracket. I'm not gonna vote on it.
I didn't do enough this week. I made the bracket. I put in the things. There's so much.
What's so much to say to make a pick?
Well, look at the slideshow. I never made a PowerPoint for. This is like an artisanally crafted.
How have you gotten this far without ever having to make a PowerPoint?
It's a good question. Luckily I'm old enough. We never had to do them in college, and then I don't do my kids' homework for them or anything. They have to do their own PowerPoints. We don't really do PowerPoints at work, and if we do, you pass it on to the next person. I guess I don't know. I've never even attempted to make one, and I did tell my 8-year-old. Hey, you might have to make one for me this week, but then I did it myself.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Akiva, you are not voting until that there is what?
No, if you want me to vote, I can vote, but then we're going to need Sam Moore, who's producing. He's on the 1s and 2s in the background to come on and break us some ties, which is fine with me. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I'll vote last. If it's 2-1, I can vote. And then if I'm making any ties, then we can bring Sam on. He's backstage. I think also, Rob, that there are no play-ins, but there are a few 3-way matchups. I'm just warning you now. Sam said you might get annoyed, or someone actually, the person who helped me with the brackets, like Rob is going to get annoyed because towards the end there's a bunch of 3-way matchups. So I'm just giving you fair warning.
It depends on who they are. Okay. All right.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So are we ready? Are we ready to start this finally?
We are. I'm so ready, Rob.
Okay. All right. So tell us how this is going to work. And of course, where can people follow along with the bracket?
That is robiswebsite.com/3-name bracket, I believe.
3-name bracket.
And I think you could write the letter 3 or the number 3. It will get you there either way.
Okay. And you could follow along. and see where and fill out your own bracket.
Oh yeah, for sure. With all your friends. It's March Madness, baby.
Yeah. Okay. And this will determine whether or not we do a bracket next week, how well this goes.
Yes. As we have said, we did not commit to doing 4 brackets in bracket season. Last week was a success. If this is a flop, next week we're off brackets onto the usual stuff. But I my feelings will be gravely hurt if you don't agree to do a bracket next week after this. Just
we'll see. Right we'll see. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how you did.
So far, I'd say 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 3-name bracket. Where are we starting?
Let's start with the first matchup. You know, share the slideshow and look at my handiwork.
Okay. All right. So we have here a matchup of. Do you want to talk us through this?
Yeah. So we have Carrie versus Miranda. Every matchup has a name. And so Carrie versus Miranda is Sarah Jessica Parker is Carrie. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is he's Miranda. And I'll read. So I have a pro, a con, and a fun fact for each person. I will read them because most of the people listening to the show are listening via podcast, not YouTube. So Sarah Jessica Parker, her pro, she created Sex and the City. Her con,
did she create Sex and the City?
I think she's like a co-creator or something.
I don't think so.
She is. She is.
She created the show.
No,
I think she has like an exec.
Darren Star created the show. She was the person, though, who got HBO to pick it up because she had signed on.
Okay.
I don't think there's Sex in the City without her. That's what I'll say. And Khan is created in just like that. And her fun fact is, did you know she dated Robert Downey Jr. for most of the 1980s?
Okay.
Which, of course, Maggie and Amelia, I'm sure, knew. But I didn't know that.
I did know that.
I think I knew that. Yeah.
And LMM, as they call him, he created Hamilton. That's a pro. Con is everyone's sick of Hamilton. And the fun fact is his dad was a political consultant for Hillary Rodham Clinton, or as a listener this week called her Hillary Rodman Clinton.
Okay. All right. So I think that at the crux of the 3-name celebrity bracket is what are we judging here? Are we judging a body of work? Are we judging the 3 names?
Rob?
I didn't.
Yes.
That's a great question.
I have an
Maggie.
opinion.
Yes.
I have an opinion. So I think that the most important thing is that this 3-name celebrity is exclusively known by their 3 names. Like if you took out one of the 3 names, you would not really know who that you're talking about.
You think that's the most important thing?
I think that that's a good note. Yes.
I think that that's the most important thing because even with these 2, I'm looking at this and first off, Manuel Miranda is a hyphen. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my God.
In between.
Okay.
And also everybody in the theater will say, "Oh, Lin-Manuel." They don't say.
I'm in the theater. Miranda. What theater are you in, Maggie?
Everybody who works in New York, who works in
She's
New York
probably in
Richard Rogers.
That's the theater.
First came to Broadway. She's in Richard Rogers Theater, Akiva.
So yeah, it's Lin-Manuel. I think like you say as his first like name, you would say, "Oh, Lin-Manuel, blah blah blah." Versus Sarah Jessica Parker, nobody says, "Oh, Sarah Jessica." Or
also, they call her SJP.
Yeah, well, and I think that's also if those 3 names are often abbreviated to initials.
Yeah.
I think that's also very big. If you
said
SJ, I think it helps a lot. I think if you talk about SJP, I know who you're talking about 100%. Without even talking about it. I mean, we're talking,
Rob, I'm not saying that shouldn't be a factor. I have no problem with what Maggie said, but to me, for that to be the deciding factor is crazy. Like,
yeah, I would ask my.
Hi, I'm Akiva. I'm not going to vote. Also, let me put my thumb on the scale.
What are you going to say, Amelia?
Coming into this, my sense was that we were judging the celebrities as opposed to their 3-namedness.
Of course.
Like,
you mean you use logic to figure this out? Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I'm new here.
No, that makes sense. No, I'm not saying what Maggie said is wrong. I think
it's not a celebrity bracket, Amelia. It's a 3-name celebrity bracket.
Yes, agreed, Rob.
Yeah, and the reason why you might have the wrong interpretation is because that your knowledge of this is only from Akiva.
A very limited window.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say. What Maggie's saying isn't wrong. I think you can judge if you think, oh, that's not a 3-name celebrity. Obviously, they can't win the bracket. But to me, I think the judging should mostly be on who is the better celebrity? Who is your favorite celebrity?
No,
like,
I don't think so. I think it's
only going by the name.
Yes, all right. No, Akiva said he shouldn't vote on anything. All right, so we have to listen to Akiva.
The Reddit's already piling on Rob.
It's about the three-namedness of the celebrity. Otherwise, we would just make a celebrity bracket.
We
Rob,
did. Just only with
I just want to say as an addendum, I was wrong about Lin-Manuel. It's Lin-Manuel. That's his first name. His first name is Lin-Manuel.
Okay.
So it's not Manuel Miranda. It's not like a hyphenated second name.
I like what you did here of Carrie versus Miranda, but I have to say that my vote will go towards SJP, even though Lin-Manuel Miranda may reach higher highs in his career. Everyone at my house loves Encanto. Yeah. Does he have an EGOT yet?
No, he's missing the Oscar, but he might win it for Encanto.
Yes. Okay. So he's on track.
But you're voting because you like SJP more, not that you love her name and you don't like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It has nothing to do with I like her personally more, but in terms of her being a three-name celebrity, Sarah Jessica Parker is a better three-name celebrity than Lin-Manuel Miranda, which Maggie has already said Lin-Manuel is a hyphenated first name.
All right. First of all, I'm voting every round, and we may have to have alliances here. See, it's gonna be me and Amelia versus Rob and Maggie every single.
I don't know that I feel ready to commit to that kind of thing, but okay.
This is already an all-timer. I can feel it. This is going great.
Right.
I know that you might think it's a disaster. This is amazing as a listener.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
Rob, you're voting SJP.
Yes.
Amelia. Well, also I had a specific voting order.
Okay.
For everyone to remember going forward. I think it should be ARM. Amelia, Rob, Maggie, just because I thought of that this second.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think on three-namedness alone, it's absolutely SJP.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that we would be foolhardy to not vote for SJP for the simple fact that when Akiva pitched this to me, he said three-name celebrities, like Sarah Jessica Parker. Like the essential three-name
She's
celebrities.
A heavyweight. She's a heavyweight.
Also, a potential winner, we're saying.
Is there seating, Akiva?
There are no seating. I did the bracket based on puns.
Okay, great.
Honestly, I picked for the most part. I like narrowed down about the 40 most nominated eligible people. So I didn't really put my thumb on the scale, and I just included them. There was a couple boring ones, like no offense to Helen and Bonham Carter. I had nothing funny to say about her.
Okay.
But
so Akiva, where in the past you said, okay, we can really speed these things up because we'll just do a whole match. But I feel like that because of the nature of your PowerPoint presentation, we will all just be stuck in the first round.
No, we could do it. We'll remember. No, after the second one, we'll remember SJP. We'll go straight to.
Okay, great.
We do quadrants here so it doesn't take 7 hours.
Okay, who's next? King of the Andrews.
So we have Andrew Dice Clay versus Andrew Lloyd Webber. I think Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. Andrew Dice Clay, he was banned for life from MTV, I think for saying bad words at the MTV Music Awards. Khan was in Entourage. I don't know why that's a con. I didn't write all of these. I wrote most of them. And fun fact, both he and Sir Andrew have been married exactly 3 times.
Yeah. Okay.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, I know Rob's a big fan. Pros, he wrote Phantom of the Opera. Cons, he wrote Cats. Fun fact, he has an EGOT, including 6 Tonys and 4 Grammys.
Okay. All right. Maggie, are you familiar with the Dice Man?
No, I've never heard of him. And I said at the beginning of this, I was like, Akiva, I'm a millennial. There's going to be people I'm sure I've never heard of. I have no clue who this man is. He could walk up to me.
I actually saw him in the grocery store one time. And it was during Passover, and I think he was buying gefilte fish, Akiva.
This is a lie. You saw Andrew Dice Clay buying. Is he Jewish?
Yes.
He was buying gefilte fish in the grocery store.
Google it. Google it. How would I know that? And he's like, I got gefilte fish over here.
There's no way you saw Andrew Dice Clay buying gefilte fish. That's absurd. Maggie, do you know gefilte fish?
Ask my wife.
No, I'm sorry.
No. Amelia, you know gefilte fish?
I know gefilte fish. I know Andrew Dice Clay, but I will say I have zero feelings on him.
Who is he? Can somebody explain who he is? Like, what did he do?
Not negative.
In the 80s, he was a well-known comedian for 80s and late 80s, early 90s. That he had a potty mouth. He would do like a lot of hickory dickory dock, and then say bad words. And people in a time when family values was a big talking point. He pushed the envelope and sold out coliseums to say dirty limericks and nursery rhymes.
Yeah, he was like Dane Cook. Like he was sort of like Dane Cook level of popularity.
I'm going to infer something based off of this photo of him.
Yeah.
Him being banned for life from MTV and him being in Entourage.
Not vaccinated, you're guessing?
No, well, that's a good point. But were a lot of his jokes negatively attributing things to women?
I think he would make again, I'm not familiar with his act as Akiva is, but
I don't know anything about
I think he would talk a lot about sex. I'm not sure necessarily what his specific takes are, but you could imagine.
And
Can
he
I
was
say,
like,
I also think it's very to the con. It's very in vogue to hate Entourage retroactively. That's like a very natural con. I actually kind of love Entourage, and I'd love to know what Andrew did. He play himself in Entourage?
Amelia, is that one of the things that you and Akiva bonded most over? Was the love of Entourage?
The episode of Entourage where they're waiting for the premiere numbers for Aquaman is, I think, some of like the best TV I've ever
agree.
seen.
That's a good episode. Rob's brother is a diehard Entourage fan, so we've discussed it before.
I guess I'm taking issue with the con.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
And they never retroactively, let Andrew Dice Clay back on MTV. They never like eased up on that.
I don't think he's like famous enough. I think he's unbanned, but like not. I mean, I haven't watched the music or movie awards in many years, but I don't think they have a lot of stand-up comedians coming on and just doing sets like they did in 1989. Yeah, he did. I guess good news for the Andrew Dice Clay people. He did sort of have a big comeback about 10 years ago. Bad news, it was in a Woody Allen movie. So,
okay,
win some, you lose some. Yeah, I think Andrew Lloyd Webber we haven't really discussed yet, but he's probably a heavy favorite right here.
Yes. Okay.
He did watch Cats only like a month or two ago. So he's fresh in our minds at least. And he's done a lot more than just Cats.
Okay. All right. So do we need to debate this any further, or are we ready to vote?
I think we could vote here. Amelia?
I'm going to vote Andrew Lloyd Webber. I disagree with both your cons. I liked Cats, so Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh yeah, you told me you
that was the last movie I saw in theaters before I was shut away for COVID. Very, very powerful memory for me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, I would say that I think that Andrew Lloyd Webber's works, even though the movie adaptation, although loved by Amelia, made for a fun podcast recently to rewatch, I think that his overall body of work is remembered more fondly than the Dice Man.
Yeah, Dice Man might be the 32nd seed in this tournament, honestly. He might be the how did he get there? And again, a lot of people got picked for the puns of their names. And Maggie, I assume you've never heard of ADC. We didn't sell you on it.
No dice.
2 minutes.
No dice.
Well, let's get straight
Surprising that he never went by Andy, that he went with the more formal Andrew. He seems more like an Andy than an Andrew.
He does not look like an Andy at all.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's get straight to SJP ALW.
Okay.
Any takes there?
Andrew Lloyd Webber versus Sarah Jessica Parker.
I mean, I think that, like I said, SJP is a possible winner. And although I absolutely know, love, and adore Andrew Lloyd Webber's work the way that I do about Lin-Manuel Miranda's work, these are two of the most prolific musical theater writers. I think SJP is just like, if you asked like my male friend who's 27 in Michigan who Andrew Lloyd Webber is or who Sarah Jessica Parker is, he's going to know who Sarah Jessica Parker is. So that's what I'm going to have to go with.
Yeah.
I was definitely also persuaded by the initial test, and you'd never say ALW, but SJP is as ubiquitous as it gets.
If I ever saw him, I would call him ALW just to see what happened, I think.
He'd say, get away.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
I think he has a good sense of humor. I think he'd like it.
I would also say that I am very partial to the second name also being a first name. So I guess Lloyd is the first name. But so to me,
also from Entourage.
Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, is the better three-named celebrity than Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I also, sorry, I wanted to say this because I feel like we buried the lead. We didn't really discuss this, but I feel like I said this to Akiva when we were talking about this before. The reason that a lot of these people in entertainment actually even have 3 names is because if you're in the actors union or the writers union or any union whatsoever, you can't have the same name as somebody else. So I'm assuming there was a Sarah Parker somewhere in the actors union. So she had to go by Sarah Jessica Parker, like Samuel L. Jackson. I'm sure there was a Samuel Jackson at some point. You have to have a distinguishable name. So that's why I think that there are 3 named celebrities even in the first place. So maybe there was already an Andrew Clay somewhere in the world.
It makes Rob and I in the Podcasters Guild, Rob and I are in great shape because there's no other Rob Cesternino or Akiva Wienerkert. So we don't have any
got here
issues
first
like that.
Right. Okay.
So SJP, welcome to the Elite Eight, basically.
Congratulations, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Good for her.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on in the first round.
All right. What do you got now, Akiva?
What happened to Sam and his screen sharing thing? There we go. Thank you, Sam. We have Michelle versus the Mountain.
Okay. All right. So that for the people listening to the podcast, which will be the majority of the people consuming this podcast.
Well, I think we might crush it on YouTube.
Please,
maybe it's a minority.
Please trust me on this. That there will be more people listening to the podcast. So please continue talking.
Yes. All right. Mary-Kate Olsen, one half of the Olsen twins. Ashley does not have that would have been a great first round matchup, but she only has 2 names. Versus Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, the Mountain from Game of Thrones. Okay. So Mary-Kate Olsen, pros, has an estimated net worth of $250 million. Maybe that's a con for some people. Con popularized the phrases, "You got it, dude," and "You're in big trouble, mister." Fun fact, it's kind of lame she wasn't on Fuller House. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, his pros, he's 2018's World's Strongest Man. Cons is trying to become a professional boxer now and is 1 win and 2 ties in his first 3 bouts. Fun fact, he played professional basketball in Iceland.
Yeah. So
wow.
Here we have Mary-Kate Olsen. This is not 3 names.
That's absurd.
She has 3 male parental figures. I mean, R.I.P. Bob Saget, but not 3 names.
But also another great way, I think, to distinguish this is if they're just like living their life outside of their professional life. I would assume that SJP's friends call her Sarah when they talk to her. She doesn't go by Sarah Jessica. The way that you don't just I'm sure that Mary-Kate probably hates it when people just call her Mary. Like her name is Mary-Kate. It's not Mary.
Is this an argument in favor of her having 3 names or against it, Maggie?
No, I think that she doesn't have 3 names. I think her name is Mary-Kate.
Her name is Mary-Kate.
It was Lin-Manuel.
I thought I didn't realize we'd get into such a Talmudic dissertation of like who has 3 names. I thought we'd just be
you're right. You're right. Because who would have thought in a bracket of 3 named celebrities we would talk about, does this person have 3 names? The one qualification it would take to get into this bracket. Who would have thought this would come up?
I'm voting for Mary-Kate.
Versus somebody who even knew this guy's name.
Well, now you know it.
That's my problem, Rob. That's my biggest problem is that he's known as the Mountain. If his name on Game of Thrones was 3 names, actually, I would be like more into it. But I've never heard of Hafthor Julius Bjornsson in my entire life until you said he was the Mountain.
Yeah.
So I don't
why do I feel
the
like
name that I know him by?
Yeah,
it's 3 names.
Yes, Amelia.
No, why do I feel like Akiva has money on this boxing league that Bjornsson is trying to break into, and this was a roundabout way to get this into the.
Honestly,
that would be an Akiva move. Yeah,
Amelia would. You think I'm doing like PR for Hafthor Julius Bjornsson?
Very subtly. This. If you're
trying to get his IG followers up.
Yeah.
Listen, if people think we picked the wrong 32, the listeners, it's not like I came up with these people on my own. Second of all, when we're done with around the 32, you all can tell me who we missed that is such a lock for the tournament,
Okay.
Yeah, that. And by the way, you each have a golden veto, Amelia. If you want to knock him out, Maggie, right now, take him out. God bless.
But who are you putting in?
So early.
Whoever you want. Any 3-name celebrity on earth.
I'm going to take him out. I am, because Mary-Kate is not a 3-name celebrity. Do you
you're taking her out?
Smith on here? No, I'm taking him out.
Smith's in there. You're taking him out.
See, so we have to ruin what's to come.
Okay, but how about this? You you message me and ask me if the person's available.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
this is a podcast. We're in the middle of a podcast.
See, Maggie, you're like, Rob, why are you so annoyed that Akiva took this on? You have see, this is what happens.
Is this why Nicole doesn't listen to the podcast?
No, one of many reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So
let me just go over Maggie's strategy here. Maggie doesn't think Mary-Kate Olsen is a 3-name celebrity, but also doesn't want this person she doesn't care about or know about, Half-Boy Julius Bjornsson, to advance. So she's putting in somebody to advance them, which is also honestly, I think strategically is a good move.
Akiva's like, we had thousands of names, and then okay, like we'll take them out and put somebody else in. I can't do.
No, we can.
That
do
I
it.
don't know.
I didn't like I didn't make a list of also receiving votes names, which I guess I could have done.
So you don't know any other random other people
I can give you. Oh, I'll give you names. Do you want to put Joseph Gordon-Levitt in?
Yes.
Like
he's not in.
No, he didn't make it.
He also might. And
he also might
Julius Bronson did. Bjornsson. What?
Who do you think would win in a fight, Amelia?
This is
Joseph Gordon-Levitt or this guy?
That's not the premise. This is a very different operation than I was led to believe. That is fascinating.
What do you mean? I'm so he got a lot of votes. The Mountain. People like Game of Thrones. You don't watch Game of Thrones?
Of course, I watch Game of Thrones. I could never have told you that this was the actor's name.
That's fair. All right. So Maggie, do you want to put JGL in?
Yeah. Do you? I DM'd you another name. If they are not in, I would prefer that name.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
They are not in, Maggie.
Okay, we're doing Evan Rachel Wood because I do think Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a hyphen. So we're doing Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Wood. And you got to make your case, though, because I don't have a backup profile for Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood is amazing. She was a child actress.
Yes.
She can sing. She was in Frozen 2. She was the voice of Elsa and Anna's mom. She has been in a bunch of amazing films, and most recently she wrote this incredible piece about the fact that she has survived domestic abuse. She's an amazing celebrity. She has 3 names, and she should absolutely win this round over Mary-Kate, who has a first and last name.
So we took out the Mountain.
Yes.
She took out the Mountain because she doesn't care about him. Yes.
No, it was good strategy.
It was a good strategy. A very good move by Maggie, honestly.
And I think Evan Rachel Wood is amazing and gorgeous.
Evan Rachel
oh my
Wood
God, so gorgeous.
Is also in one of the most formative movies I've ever watched, or terrifying movies, 13.
13,
yes.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And she's in Westworld, and she's amazing in Westworld. Oh my gosh, she's so good. So
yeah, 13 is it was a wild movie. Yes.
Okay.
So are you both voting for Evan Rachel Wood, Maggie and Amelia?
Yeah, I co-sign.
And Rob?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought we were taking out Mary-Kate Olsen because she doesn't even have 3 names. She should be disqualified. So
Maggie saw an opportunity and went for it.
It's a good move, honestly.
If you were going to have a Game of Thrones person, you should have had Isaac Hempstead Wright.
Oh yeah, because you wouldn't have made fun of me about that one. Who was that? The kid?
Bran.
Oh, nobody's putting Bran in
really? Nobody would even put Bran in a very prominent role, Akiva?
No, Bran wouldn't even make if this was a Game of Thrones bracket, I don't think he'd make it. Okay. The Mountain is at least he's an actor and he's the world's strongest man and a mediocre boxer. Hashtag celebrity boxing league or whatever.
Okay, when he sits atop the 3-name celebrity bracket.
Well, he's eliminated.
Okay,
next.
Fine. Evan Rachel Wood.
Daniel Day.
Daniel Day.
Yes, and we have Daniel Day-Lewis. All right, Maggie and Amelia are all right. I've won them back.
We're vocalizing.
Daniel Day-Kim. So we have Daniel Day-Lewis, Rob, possibly the greatest actor in history.
Except that Day-Lewis is hyphenated.
But it's it's 3 names. It's 3 names. It doesn't matter if it's hyphenated. Let's not.
It does.
I don't think so. I think where you say the words. I think if you say the 3 names, if you call them 3 names, you think Day-Lewis is 1 name? I don't think it's 1 name. Anyway, moving on. Khan seems like he would be a rough hang. Fun fact: he won 43.
Rough hang.
I think he would be a rough hang.
He goes.
I don't want to hang out with him. Yeah. And fun fact: he won 43 different acting awards for his performance in There Will Be Blood.
Yeah. Okay.
Daniel Day-Kim, one half of one of TV's most beloved romantic duos, Jin and Sun. cons. He recently started something called the Hot Zone: Anthrax.
Oh,
fun fact.
Gotta put that in my queue.
Yeah. Fun fact is funny going through making these little bios for all these celebrities. Almost every single celebrity, except for Daniel Day-Lewis, posted a picture of them at the Super Bowl in LA with very good seats. I'm not exaggerating. Google any of these people we're talking about, and every single one of them was
What do you mean a humble brag of like you posted like his seats and like it's like that I'm in the nosebleed section.
No. I'm just saying every single one of these people was at the Super Bowl.
But why is it a humble brag?
Well, they had good seats. To me, that was like a little bit of a humble brag.
I don't that seems like a straight up brag. Where's the humble part?
Okay, you're right. That's a fair point. It's just a brag. It was just a brag.
Okay.
Fair point. R.I.P. Harris Whittles.
So I'm once again, I'm going to have to quibble with the cons again. First of all, I should caveat by saying I am an enormous fan. Well, no, I've been told by multiple people that I would really like the Hot Zone Anthrax. I love disease, biology.
Oh, well, Amelia, you must have been having a field day these last 2 years.
The number, no, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me sound weird, but it's a big, I like the concept.
You like the movie, the movie Outbreak?
I liked Outbreak. I love Contagion. I've read a lot of pandemic books. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I like it. And I love come true for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's a good matchup, though. Let's not worry about who's got three names, and let's just worry about, which actors we like.
Akiva, that is the point of the task.
Maggie, this is what he does. This is what he does.
And also, like a Korean naming structure, like you don't have a problem with Daniel Day Kim, right? Because
no problem. Daniel Day Kim, three names.
They don't. I think Americans hyphenate them. I don't think they hyphenate their own names necessarily. So,
I really am into Daniel Day Kim for the fact that when I Googled people to replace the mountain with, he was number 2 after Evan Rachel Wood on the list that I was like, that's a good person. So I'm really feeling Daniel Day Kim here because Day-Lewis, like, again, like I think that I would say, oh, Kim. I don't think that I would say Day Kim the way that I would say Day-Lewis,
Maggie really honing in on
Day is significant. I thought that was the point of this, is that we were going to be really analyzing the 3-name structure. I didn't know that you thought that we were going to be talking about their careers, but everybody has fabulous careers. Like Daniel Day Kim is like one of the most like inspiring breakthrough actors for Asian
really didn't need to die.
Americans.
No, spoilers for Lost. Shut it off if you haven't seen it. You're watching. He really didn't need it was really almost like it was very sad. He didn't need to die there.
Can I also say the Hollywood Reporter describes him as doing sturdy work in a rare leading role in the Hot Zone Anthrax. So
sturdy work. Okay. Yeah. All right. We should be so lucky to get those reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. The YouTube.
Everyone are doing sturdy work.
If you like this episode in the YouTube comments, just write Robin Akiva did sturdy work this episode. Yeah. Daniel Day-Lewis. Listen. He's one of the GOATs. It's hard to beat him. I feel like he's been in 11 movies since 1990, and I think he was nominated for an Oscar, a Gold Globe in 9 of them, an Oscar in 6.
Okay. All right. Good point. Let's vote.
Okay.
Daniel Day Kim. Got to do it.
Yeah. Daniel Day Kim.
Wow.
Daniel Day Kim.
Well, then my opinion will be lost to history, and it's DDK. Congratulations on Sweet 16. Now we'll go straight into ERW.
Fact, Daniel Day Kim is working on the live action edition of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Shout out to friends of the pod, Third Wheel Zach and Jacob Redman.
Yes. I don't know what that is. I mean, I know the show, but congratulations to him. Daniel Day Kim versus Evan Rachel Wood.
Ooh.
We got to go right into that.
This is my thought. If we're just going to now these are all 3-name celebrities. One, I'm not sure is more iconic than the other. This is the way that my brain works. What's the easiest to say? What's the most fun to say? Daniel Day Kim, it's an even amount of syllables for the first half and the second half. It's like Daniel Day Kim, 2 syllables, 1 syllable middle, 1 syllable last. Versus Evan, which is 1, Rachel, which is 2 in the middle, and Wood at the end. I feel like Daniel Day Kim goes off the tongue easier than Evan Rachel Wood. So that is why I do think my vote will go for Daniel Day Kim.
That is an interesting reason.
Interesting.
I'm curious about the sort of what do her friends call her test? Like, do you think Evan Rachel Wood's friends call her Evan?
That's a good question. I bet they do.
I listened to a podcast that she did, and he was calling her Evan.
Evan. Yeah.
Evan.
That helps to me because I like the like androgyny of the first name. That contributes to an Evan Rachel Wood lean for me.
Evan is a good girl's name.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Daniel Day Kim. I think that DDK probably comes up more than ERW. Those are ugly initials.
I think you're right.
That sounds like an airport code. Yeah,
it is the airport.
Yeah. What airport is it? Oh,
is that Newark? ERW? Oh,
famously not a great airport, right?
Yeah. Oh, EWR.
EWR is
close.
Yeah, is Newark. I hope Sam Moore's around because I think I'm gonna. To me, Daniel Day Kim is like he's still on an upswing, and I have no problem. I like Evan Rachel Wood, but I feel like she's. I mean, I guess she was in Westworld. That's pretty good.
Which is still on the air, I believe.
Still on the air. That's true.
It's like 9 years between seasons.
They're both fabulous actors. Like, there's no real. That's why I went with just.
I also think they're both going to lose to SJP, which we're not going to do right away. But I'm gonna. You know what? I'll give Evan Rachel Wood the win here. Congratulations to Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood, moving on
in the quarterfinals. All right. Next quadrant. Sam, stop taking off the screen. What's going on here? There we go. And we have Love versus Heart. We have Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Melissa Joan Hart. This is a great. This is a listen.
These are 2-3 name actresses.
3 name celebrities, and I think this is a Titanic matchup here. Kate Winslet, ironically not eligible. Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's someone made a bunch of puns and changed everything I wrote, but she's the queen.
What do you mean someone changed what you wrote?
I'm not going to throw the person, but I had like a whole thing here, and I wrote she was the queen of the procedural drama. She was in The Ghost Whisperer, The Client List, Criminal Minds, and the show 911, which is I think on Fox, and I think there's like a lot of 911s on Fox. I think it's like.
But what was the great thing that you wrote that got taken out?
I don't remember. It just I didn't write.
Something
knows
good.
What you did last summer. That's not something I would write.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick these pictures either.
You have a problem with the pictures?
No, I have no problem with the pictures. I would have probably just done a headshot for both. I have no problems with the pictures.
Is this too much body here for you?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Cons, she's the star of Garfield the movie and Garfield the Tale of Two Kitties.
Yes.
Fun fact, released 4 albums as a solo artist with her top single, How Do I Deal, peaking at 57 on the charts. I did listen to How Do I Deal while prepping this bracket, which auto-played into a lot of other Jennifer Love Hewitt music. So I've listened to a lot of JLH singing over the last few days. Melissa Joan Hart, she explained it all and was a teenage witch. Cons, her votes in a few elections could use some explaining. And fun fact, recently won $1 million for charity on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Okay. All right.
Were you? I mean, Rob and I, we're a little older than our 2 celebrity experts. Were either of you Clarissa Explains It All people? Probably not. You don't remember it.
I remember it, but I was a much bigger Sabrina the Teenage Witch person.
Yeah.
Big
Me
witch
too.
girl.
Okay.
Watched every episode.
Most recently,
Clarissa, she was like always in her bed, right? Wasn't she always sitting on her bed and explaining things? I do remember that.
Yeah.
Which is aspirational.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want a TV show where I'm in my bed most of the time.
Yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart. She also worked with Joey from Celebrity Big Brother 2. On that
Melissa and Joey.
Show.
Joey Lawrence?
Yeah, Melissa and Joey. Yes.
I don't think that's
Lawrence.
where Joey Lawrence is primarily known for, but I guess with Rob's Survivor Big Brother audience, that's fair.
And also to bring things back to Entourage, she's in Drive Me Crazy, right? With Adrian Grenier. Very, very bad rom-com teen movie that I have watched dozens of times.
Bill Simmons used to have he used to say this a lot, and I don't know if it's true, but he used to say his wife's least favorite celebrity was Jennifer Love Hewitt, and he would say women hate Jennifer Love Hewitt. He'd always say that.
Not true.
I don't agree with that.
Not these women.
Just don't shoot the messenger. Bill Simmons, that's what he used to say.
Maybe the women in the age demo of Bill Simmons' wife.
It's possible. Also, could be a demo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt, very good career.
Her career is awesome because all these procedurals, you make so much money on these procedurals. Like I cannot explain how much money she probably made, even though Melissa Joan Hart maybe was in more iconic shows like Sabrina, Clarissa Explains It All. She had the show Melissa and Joey that I feel like ran 10 seasons on ABC Family. You cannot beat Fox money on a show like 911. You just cannot beat it. And I just love Jennifer Love Hewitt, like the name in general, because love is in the middle. I think that it's so like, it's just so.
So you'd like her better if it was
musical.
Melissa Hart Joan, Maggie?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very concerned about the election thing because I didn't know any of this. And I feel like until I have more information, I can't vote for Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did we mention Party of Five at all? Which is, I believe, like her
launching point.
The thing that launched her career. Love. I love Love as a name. Much better name than Joan, which I don't know if we have too many Joan listeners, but
my mom's name is Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa's fine. If we're ranking like all of the names, it's probably a toss up between Joan and Hewitt for worst name on the board between the two. But Love is
you didn't like Leighton Hewitt, the Australian tennis player, Rob?
So
I'll say this, Rob. When I was explaining the bracket to people,
Akiva explained it all. Right.
I think Jennifer Love Hewitt was on the short list of 3 name celebrities that I would use as an explainer, which to me is a big plus.
Yes.
She's approaching SJP heavyweight status.
Also, it doesn't have a great initial, Maggie. Amelia, I mean.
Maybe Akiva, do you know this? That one of these two women famously dated a U.S. Survivor contestant?
No.
A U.S. Survivor contestant.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Which one and then who?
I thought it was
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt dated
Rob's sister Nino?
No.
Oh man.
What am I?
Because then it would be funny if the two women who hated Jennifer Love Hewitt the most were Bill Simmons' wife and your wife. Then
my wife. No, it was not me. It is a friend. It is a friend of mine, but it is not.
Can you say who it was?
It is not me. Ethan Zahn.
Oh, she's got good taste. Yeah, I also would date Ethan Zahn.
At the height of his powers. Yes.
Wow.
I would date Ethan Zahn now. So she's got good 100%. Taste.
Watch out, Ethan Zahn's wife.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure that he's.
All right.
Wait, and that's also because she has dated Enrique Iglesias. So to think of the two of them as, anyway, interesting. Lines, connections.
They love Jennifer Love.
Okay. All right, let's vote.
I think it's going to be all JLH.
Yeah, it's got to be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
JLH, moving on. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Melissa Joan Hart. You had a good run.
Yeah.
Call Me Elaine is the next bracket. And we have
waiting for this.
Carly Rae Jepsen versus possibly one of the favorites, but we'll see because she does have a freaking dash.
Hyphenated name. Can you explain the pun here on Call Me Elaine?
Listen, most of the people had like working puns, and then I had to mix up people at the end. So Carly Rae Jepsen was facing Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and it's Call Me Baby and Call Me Maybe and Elaine. I don't know. They don't all. We had to put people in who deserve to be in. Not everyone gets like a perfect.
Yeah, but I think I probably would have leaned towards putting in the deserving people with 3 names.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is 3 names. I'm not gonna hear any that she doesn't have 3 names. It's an absurd argument. Well, first of all, Louis Dreyfus is a last name. Her name isn't Julia Louis. It's Louis Dreyfus. It's 2 names, and
that's right. It's 2 names.
Louis Dreyfus is 2 names, and Julia's a name. That's 3 names.
Come on,
3 names.
Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Bro, Rob, you're so hung up on the dash. It's absurd. People, I'm going to be honest. I think 90% of the listeners are going to agree with me on this.
Put out the poll. Every time. Yeah.
I think it's going to be like 88-12 me if we have this argument online. I really do. Sometimes I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong here. I think okay. I think people are going to be like, "Oh, it's a great podcast, but why is Rob so hung up on the dash?" Anyway, Carly Rae Jepsen. She's not a one-hit wonder. People got mad when we said that.
Definitely not.
She has 5 songs with 100 million streams on Spotify. Cons, indecisive on whether she wants. I didn't write that. That's a bad joke. I'm not going to read it. And fun fact: 3rd place finisher on season 5 of Canadian Idol. That is a fun fact. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, an 8-time Emmy Award winner, 6 for Veep, 1 for Seinfeld, 1 for New Adventures of Old Christine. She got an Emmy for New Adventures of Old Christine. Really, that alone should move her on to the next round. Cons, her movie career has been kind of rough. We've discussed that James Gandolfini movie before. That was pretty bad. My wife's grandmother once got really mad at me for putting that on. You like that movie?
Dare.
Enough said.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus has the career of my dreams. She is my comedy idol, my comedy hero. I
didn't like Enough
her
said.
And Carol Burnett. So how dare we talk about any bad thing she's been in, because there's nothing bad. She's amazing.
Okay. Enough said's not great.
Meryl Streep has a bad movie.
Yeah. What about watching Ellie?
Yeah.
How dare?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Her movie career has not been great. And then, fun fact: her father Gerard, who recently passed, was worth over $3 billion, which caused me to wonder: is it possible she has more money than Larry David because she was one of his only children? Very rich, money. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Okay. Plenty of money.
Good for her.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Carly Rae Jepsen. This is a good matchup. Carly Rae Jepsen versus JLD. And people do call her JLD. I'm not just calling her that to be ironic.
For sure. Yeah, she's initials.
Yeah. What do you think, Amelia?
Listen, I think, on the test of who do you think of, when you first proposed this to me, I said, oh, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, like that, I think that any hyphen hesitation is just like steamrolled by this woman.
Hyphen hesitation.
She is
hyphen hesitation.
She is 3 names. She is legend, like totally in your camp, Maggie. Not an actress, but aspired to be like her in every way. So it's tough because I like Carly too. Dedicated is a great album. She's not a one-hit wonder, but Julia is a 3-name titan.
Okay.
What do you think, Rob?
While I think the body of work of Julia Louis-Dreyfus is clearly better than Carly Rae Jepsen, that Carly Rae Jepsen is a 3-name celebrity, and I believe Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh my God!
Is Louis her last name? What is her last name?
Yeah, her last name is Louis-Dreyfus.
Right. Do we say that her last names, plural, are Louis-Dreyfus? First name, middle name, last name. Carly Rae Jepsen, on that alone, has to be ahead of Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm sorry.
No, you should be sorry. You should be very, very sorry.
Okay.
But no, listen, that's your opinion. Everyone could use their own metric. That's one of the things about these brackets. There's no rubric you need to follow. I'm also going to start drinking like Amelia right now after Rob's decision.
It's a seltzer.
I'm teasing. Maggie, what do you think? It's 1-1.
This is my problem. I'm very torn because I agree with Rob. Okay. There is no world, if this was not Julia Louis-Dreyfus, where I would be saying that like Carly Rae Jepsen is the 3-name celebrity. Julia Louis-Dreyfus should not be in this bracket. Okay. But
hard to disagree, but fair.
If you want to do a hyphenated last name bracket, put her at the number 1 seed.
2023.
This is what I'm going to have to say.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
the listeners voted her in. Blame the listeners, not me.
You picked my favorite actress of all time, like my hero. So I cannot. I'm going to have to go against and defy all logic and pick Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Knowing that she's gonna be kicked out by Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I'm gonna pick her because I cannot, in good conscience, vote in any category for Carly Rae Jepsen over Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Fair enough. 2-1, and I'll cement it for JLD. I like Carly Rae Jepsen. Like all the singers in here, I listen to her stuff.
That's the song of the decade.
Yeah. She's good. She's
song of the decade. Yeah, because she's great. She's great. She'll have a continued great career. So we have got JLD, and then we'll go right into JLH versus JLD. Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I do just want to make a point that the mere fact that we say JLD speaks to the fact that she's not JL, she's JLD.
100%. 100%. Hashtag Rob was wrong.
Okay. So
I'm ready to vote.
Ready to vote.
I've said my piece.
Okay. All right, Amelia.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got different criteria. It's still Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Okay.
Rob.
I'm going to go with Jennifer Love Hewitt, a woman with 3 names.
Wow. Yeah, whose body of work? Now, you know, we talked about Jennifer Love Hewitt's made a lot of money, but I don't think she's made Veep money, Seinfeld money.
Oh, why are you turning this into who has the greatest net worth?
Listen,
Akiva.
Just that's what we do sometimes. We talk about, but no, I think I'm just finding common ground between them. Maggie, what do you think? It's 1-1.
I have to go with Jennifer Love Hewitt because Julia Louis-Dreyfus doesn't have 3 names. I agree with Rob. It's the way, and this is also the way that I'm going to say it, Akiva. I bet you if anybody called her Julia Dreyfus, she would be like, that's not my last name. My last name is Louis-Dreyfus. Like that would make her mad.
My last name's
the way
Louis
that if you called, but no, but the way that if you called Mary Kate Olsen Mary, she would be like, that's not my name. My name is Mary Kate.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to invoke the nuclear option of inviting someone on who's wearing a Yankee hat to make our decision for us. We have.
My goodness.
I'm going with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Who Maggie? I will add about 30 seconds ago said she would never vote against in any context of anything on earth, and then went straight to vote for.
I needed her to win one. Yeah, I needed her to win one.
She specifically said, "I will put her through, and I know that she will lose to Julia Louis-Dreyfus in the next round."
She thought maybe that Amelia would vote against her, not that she would immediately abandon her idol.
Okay,
she is my idol, but she doesn't have 3 names. I bet you if you asked her if she had 3 names, she would say she does not.
Amelia,
I wish we could. That would be a dream.
What are you concerned about, Amelia?
I'm just concerned by how much it has turned out that Akiva and I have an alliance throughout this whole thing.
Yes,
trying to avoid this.
No, all right. Should we let Sam come on to break this up? Okay, all right.
And Sam, listen. If you're worried that
don't poison the jury
in your house,
no, I already have my pick.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with anybody I work for or anything. This is a 3-name bracket. We are looking for celebrities with 3 names. It's not a troll. That's the assignment. Akiva,
I don't have a problem.
Just make the assignment.
Make your pick.
It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I like her body of work a bit more.
No doubt.
But we're not
an icon.
Here judging on the body of work.
All right, fine. Jennifer Love Hewitt is an iconic 3-name celebrity. I don't think it's a travesty for her to advance.
Yeah, this is not. This is not awful.
All right, all right. We got to keep. With that again. Our guests have outs. We got to keep moving.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Akiva, what's next?
Sam, pull up the next matchup on the screen, please. Lights, Camera, Oscar. We have a pair of famed directors here. There are no dashes in town. We have 2 3-name celebrities. Thank God for a second here. This is a fun matchup. We have Francis Ford Coppola versus PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson. Francis Ford Coppola, one of the greatest directors in history. Cons, plans to spend $120 million of his own money to film a movie called Megalopolis, which sounds unbelievably bad. There's a really wild article in, I think, Vanity Fair or something very recently about it.
What's it about?
I cannot. If I had an hour, I couldn't explain it. It looks horrible. It will never actually be filmed. But he is very wealthy.
Is that a dinosaur?
No, it's about the future. It's terrible.
It does sound like a dinosaur.
Fun fact. Did you know The Godfather Part 3 got 7 Oscar nominations? Paul Thomas Anderson. He wrote the one of the great lines in movie history. I drink your milkshake. I watched that the other day, and my 4-year-old came into the room and said, "Why is he drinking his milkshake?" Cons. I love licorice and I love pizza, but let's admit that's a weird name for a movie. Licorice pizza. Also, What's Up with the Frogs and Magnolia. And
you wrote that one, right?
What?
You wrote that one, right?
I did write that one, but I didn't write the fun fact, which is copied to David Mamet, worked for film school assignment and got a C. That is a fun fact.
Okay. Now, Paul Thomas Anderson, often known by P.T. Anderson, at least earlier, I feel like in his career, but now maybe
call him PTA.
Now they call him PTA.
Let's at least give it like the breadth of just like going actor versus director versus director here.
Okay.
There's no dashes. We have someone who it's also like Paul Thomas Anderson at this point has probably made more good movies than Francis Ford Coppola, but he didn't make The Godfather. But also, There Will Be Blood is one of my favorite movies. Probably my favorite drama movie. What do you think, Rob?
We need to compare whose films are better. I think that they're both like
well, I think that's like one of the things
directors alive.
Well, I've never met them personally, Maggie, so I don't know like how else. Like Paul Thomas Anderson, like I think he's married to Maya Rudolph. That's cool.
Okay.
He is.
So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that Paul Thomas Anderson, you know, if we're going by the acronym test, PTA, I think it's definitely getting much more run than FFC.
That's for sure.
I don't know how many relevant films FFC has made recently.
Very few. Really nothing good
Oh
since
my gosh, recently, but like literally his film.
Yeah.
I know, but it was
cinematic history, and his daughter now has made films that have transformed cinema.
And even more than both of them, his nephew Nicolas Cage is our greatest actor.
Yeah, but
I'm also some of the criteria that Maggie brought up for Daniel Day Kim. It's not the same, but I really like the first two names starting with the same letter, and then the third. Like, it's a beautiful name. Francis Ford, beautiful name.
Francis
Much better
Ford
than Paul Thomas Anderson. Too.
Yeah.
But it's not like that PTA is some slouch schlub here going up against Francis Ford Coppola.
Not at all.
I did not care for Licorice Pizza, but
I am going to.
Well, what'd you think about the Bling Ring?
I actually love the Bling Ring. My one complaint about the Bling Ring is I did feel like there were moments where they just didn't have enough footage and showed scenes in slow-mo to fill time. And that's but I liked it. I like that whole story.
I just can't believe you knew what the Bling Ring was.
The suspect wore Rob. Come on. Yeah, that's I also watched Pretty Wild with Alexis Myers.
He was only the executive producer on that.
Yeah. I know a lot about the.
He didn't direct that movie. Yeah.
I
love There Will Be Blood. I didn't like Phantom Thread, The Master. But he's still one of my favorite directors.
I don't think he's the FFC. I don't think has directed a movie in a. Hold on.
But listen, he could have retired and nobody would blame him. You know what I mean?
To be able to chill. That's
I mean, he doesn't chill. He does the wine stuff and makes a whole lot of money.
FFC made one of the literally did the impossible where he made a sequel that was better than the original, which never ever happened. And also
this show too. Every time we do
just okay, so they are both literally like two of the best actors or both best directors ever. What I'm going to base my vote on is who's names I like better as a 3-name celebrity. That's what I'm going to base it on.
All right.
Well,
so Amelia,
it's not my turn to vote.
Yes,
Amelia.
Yeah, I'm gonna do similar, and I'm gonna go with Francis Ford Coppola.
Wow.
Okay. I'm gonna go with PTA.
Ooh.
Maggie? I'm gonna go with Francis Ford Coppola for the basic fact that he is such a 3-name celebrity that he has a daughter who's also like a celebrity. And she only has the same last name. Like, she doesn't have 3 names either. Like, he is his own entity. So Francis Ford Coppola.
So if she was Sophia Ford Coppola, that would be better.
See, that would help it for me if she was Sophia Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is Ford his middle name? I don't even know. I'm going with PTA. We got to get Sam right back here. You could. I didn't love Licorice Pizza either, Amelia, but I like what he does as a director. Like, it wasn't a great movie, and the name is. We could all agree the name is stupid, right? Licorice Pizza.
Is it Kiva voting or not?
I'm voting.
He says he is now.
Okay,
I'm voting because I couldn't let Rob, go wild with the dash thing. I had to keep him in check.
Yeah. Okay.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving.
Sam's on my team.
FFC moves on.
All right. Next matchup, Sam. The Lake Show. We have a pair of Lakers. This will probably be quick. We have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar against Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace doesn't always go by Meta World Peace now, but I felt comfortable enough including it because his social media still called himself Meta, but he also did legally change his name to Sandiford.
I hate to be the bearer of hyphens, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is hyphenated.
All right, so you could vote for Meta World Peace as a better Laker than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, 38,387 points, although LeBron should pass him in about 12 months. Cons, he once sued Miami Dolphins running back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for having the same name as him, which is completely nuts. And then fun fact, he co-wrote season 4, episode 6 of Veronica Mars, which is
interesting.
That is a fun fact. I like that.
That's a very fun fact. He's a good writer.
Yes. Also, the guy who wrote these fun facts is a great writer. Pros, 2004 NBA Defensive Player of the Year. That's the artist formerly known as Mario Test. Cons was once suspended for 86 games for his role in a brawl during which he punched a fan in the face on the court. Fun fact: now he goes by Medicine Fort Artest in some place. He was also on, I believe, Celebrity Big Brother.
Celebrity Big Brother 1, and
how did he do?
He was like middle of the pack. He sort of like engineered his own ouster from the game, and then also is going to be a cast member on the upcoming Beyond the Edge,
which
coming
is
to
what?
CBS. It's basically like
Survivor knockoff. Oh, Celebrity Survivor.
Basically like Celebrity Survivor coming to CBS this Wednesday.
Oh, it starts right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you podcasting about it?
I am.
Every episode or just the first one?
Every single one.
Oh, well, let's say if it sucks. You're committing already now to like every one?
Look, Akiva.
Yeah.
The worse the show, the better
That's
my
true.
podcast.
It's fair. It's just true. And who do you have like a running co-host for that?
I do.
And you share it, or you're not ready to share it yet?
You may have to listen to some of the other podcasts this weekend to find out.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Just trying to do some plugs for other shows here.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about
KAJ. Is anybody voting for Meta World Peace here?
I am.
No, but I am excited
Yes.
that Malice at the Palace is part of the slideshow.
Malice at the Palace.
I'm
Maggie...
from Detroit, so
so you know we don't have to like explain the Malice at the Palace.
Oh yeah, no, I literally was 9 years old watching local 4 news.
Love
all
that.
about it. Everybody, it was when he went by Ron Artest, so everybody hated Ron Artest. Yes.
At the time, yeah.
That's why I changed his name. Wait, so are we? But I think we're 2-2 based on how we're talking.
I don't know who Kareem
I haven't said anything.
is.
So are you just assuming that I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, where's? Okay. Let's.
I am, but don't assume.
Amelia, okay, who is your vote?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't care about the hyphens, and that's a great
Kareem.
Okay. All right. I am voting for Meta World Peace. I've met him, I believe, on 2 occasions. That he was a guest when I used to podcast with T.O. And then also I interviewed him before he went in to go play Celebrity Big Brother. And
I feel like that's a terrible reason to vote for. Like you met him twice.
That's not why I'm voting for him. Fun fact.
If you met Kareem, in fairness, you would not vote for him because I think most people who meet him find him a little rough around the edges. Which is why he's the leading scorer in NBA history, and he's not working in the NBA. He's writing for Veronica Mars.
I'm also going to disagree with the con once again, because I think that's kind of like a very, it's a power move to sue someone for, he can't help having, and amazing way to use that.
And he won. Well, he did win, Amelia. So the judge may have said Korean power move, but I think it was it was a high school running back star who was converting to Islam, and his imam said, "This is your name." And so it's a little, it wasn't like he joined the NFL. You know what I mean? I think it was a weird move. Anyway. I'm KAJ. Rob, you're Meta World Peace. We gotta go. Sam, you didn't know you're like a full-fledged member of this panel.
I mean, this is by far the easiest one. I'm voting for 1, the person that has 3 names, and 2, one of the greatest Big Brother players of all time.
Oh my! I thought he was.
Sam is always on my team. What can I say? We think the same.
This is so easy.
Winning time. Okay.
Oh my Jesus! Who plays Kareem? Not someone famous.
I think I say who plays Meta World Peace on Winning Time.
I don't think he's in it.
Okay. Next season.
All right. So that is the end of the first half of the bracket. I guess we could very quickly do Francis Ford Coppola versus Meta World Peace. Okay. Amelia. Now the first round is like
for the ages.
A lot of times, but this is truly a great. This is a knockout brawl here. What do you think?
This is a great.
Which is ironically Meta World Peace's strength, knockout brawls.
Yeah. All right.
I want to know if in any world these two have ever met each other.
Good question. They probably live around each other.
Yeah.
In LA. Was he a good podcast guest, Rob? On the TO show? The podcast?
He's very low key and sort of relaxed. So I feel like that ideally he is. I like a podcast guest with a little bit more fire, and maybe he saves it all for the basketball court.
Okay. Fair enough.
I like somebody that comes in hot. He's a little too laid back for a podcast. I feel
okay.
Like. That's not his strong suit. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Amelia?
Yeah, I think I got to go Francis Ford Coppola in this pairing.
Okay.
I still really like the name, and I'm still salty about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So
Yeah.
legacy frustration.
Okay. I too will go with Francis Ford Coppola. I just feel like that the body of work is greater for FFC than Meta World.
Now, that was not a factor when you were comparing one of the best basketball players ever with like a pretty good basketball player,
right?
That because was the totality of what they basically
because
done.
In a best 3-name celebrity bracket, the number one concern was, hey, does this person have 3 names?
So if he had not put a dash between the Abdul and Jabbar, he would be going through.
He didn't put a dash. That's his name. That's his last name. He did not put the dash there. That's his name.
Right.
His last name is Abdul Jabbar.
All right, I'm also voting for Francis Ford Coppola just to move this along.
Okay.
So
did we get Maggie's vote?
I don't get to vote.
Yeah.
No,
you do. No, you do. But it was 3-0.
Maggie, I'm so sorry.
Maggie, it was 3-0. I was doing this for you. You, I think, have the first out. So, who are you voting for?
I voted for Francis Ford Coppola.
So. Okay. What do we got next, Sam? Oh, you guys are gonna hate this one. I'm telling you now.
Okay,
we have Saved by the Bracket.
Mark Paul Gosselaar, which is a hyphenated first name, versus Tiffany Amber Thiessen, which is a hyphenated last name.
Well, I got great news because this got put in the bracket, and then we found out last second she has dropped Amber from her name. So if anyone wants to knock out Tiffany Amber Thiessen and use their super veto. Amelia and Rob still have them, but her social media right now is only Tiffany.
I'll knock it out. Give me a different. Give me somebody from the maybe pile that actually has 3 names.
You want Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, I want somebody. Yeah, so give me somebody. Yeah, give me somebody that was sent in from your thousands of names. Yeah, that didn't get included.
Fair enough. I will here. Why don't you? If I'll do that, why don't you read the Mark Paul Gosselaar stuff in the meantime for me, please?
Okay. All right.
While I find the name for you.
Okay. So for Mark Paul Gosselaar, Akiva says pros, known for playing Zach Morris and either Franklin or Bash. Cons,
I'm not sure which one.
Is pretty bad. I think his podcast might have pod faded.
Did it die? Rob and I, we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was not into it at all. Fun fact, until recently, he had never watched a single episode of Saved by the Bell. So let me see. When was the most recent episode of Zach to the Future? It looks like the most recent episode was a little bit after Akiva and I had talked about it. Episode 50 was on August 25th, 2021. It was a weekly podcast. The last episode was August 2021.
And I'm guessing they didn't finish the whole series.
They got up to episode 50, right?
Okay, fine. All right, I'm gonna throw out some names of people who were nominated a bunch but didn't make it in. Rob, okay?
They did get pretty far.
I think there's like 86 episodes of Saved by the Bell.
Okay,
I believe it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Billy Ray Cyrus, Kathy Lee Gifford, Lou Diamond Phillips, Camilla Parker Bowles, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Parker Bowles is a hyphenate.
Jamie Lee Curtis was knocked out last second. Helena Bonham Carter, Chad Michael Murray, Sean William Scott. Any of these people excite you?
Put Kathy Lee Gifford through. She recently. It's a I think it's a hyphen.
I don't think there's a hyphen, but yeah.
Is it okay.
Yeah.
So
Kathy Lee Gifford. Okay.
Kathy Lee Gifford recently sat down on Julie Chen Moonves's God 101. Well, Julie Chen Moonves. Is that a hyphen? Well, I don't know. Does she hyphenate it?
It's a hyphen.
Okay, fine. Then put Kathy Lee Gifford through for her recent appearance on God 101.
Now, can I ask you a question? Why are you listening? You are listening to Julie Chen Moonves's God 101 podcast?
Maggie, have you checked it out? Her YouTube channel?
I checked it out a little bit. Mostly when you guys were talking about it on the slop. If you're not a patron and you don't get the slop, this is a good time to become one. But yeah, it was something. It's something. God 101.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm unfamiliar with it. And she doesn't still do the show with Hoda anymore, Amelia, right?
No, she's done.
Okay.
Hoda and Jenna.
That was iconic. It's Hoda and Jenna. Oh, Jenna Bush. Okay. All right. So who are we? So it's Mark Paul Gosselaar versus Kathy.
Do you want to hear?
Gifford.
Yeah. Do you want to hear a clip of her with talking to Julie Chen Moonves?
This is what Jesus says about me, and he has to flee.
Yeah, but Satan is a loser and a liar.
Father of all lies.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
So you
That's right.
listen to this podcast.
Yeah, it's a YouTube
for
channel.
fun,
Yeah,
and you. I mean,
I listen to it professionally. I mean, it's my job to cover all things Big Brother. Yeah.
Yes, Julie Chen Moonves' podcast, and then you cut a clip of it.
To be fair, Julie Chen Moonves did not hyphenate her own name on her StreamYard.
Okay, fair enough. Amelia, what do you think here? MPG versus Kathy Lee Gifford.
Kathy Lee Gifford,
former coworker of yours.
Yeah, I was about to say former coworker of mine, part of the Peacock. And I'm a big fan of a late addition. Like, it feels like she got a chance here where she didn't initially. So I think I have to go Kathy Lee Gifford. I have to support the late entry.
Okay.
Rob,
I'll go with Kathy Lee Gifford.
KLG, what do you think, Maggie?
Kathy Lee Gifford.
All right, there we go. This could be a real rags to riches story if she wins the whole thing.
She's a Horatio Alger.
Less famous partner, the first three-way matchup. Be warned, there's a bunch of them coming up. We have Billy Bob Thornton, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Keegan-Michael Key. Less famous partner. So Billy Bob Thornton is a self-described brony, a man who loves My Little Pony.
No.
This might be a con, but so are all of his potential facts.
That's real?
Cons, the whole blood vial thing with Angelina Jolie was weird. Fun fact, is currently married to his sixth wife. Jada Pinkett Smith was recently named one of the most 100 influential people in the world. That's pretty good. Cons, she's a chronic oversharer. Fun fact, she went to high school with Tupac. Keegan-Michael Key, in May, he became the first Mad TV cast member to ever host SNL. Cons, what's the deal with him and Jordan Peele? Are they still friends? Yeah. And fun fact, he's playing Toad in the new Mario movie. That's cool.
I will just add Keegan-Michael is a hyphenated first name.
All right, well, we got three people here, so you could vote for whomever you want.
Okay.
Jada Pinkett Smith leaps off this page to me.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay, so I mean, to me, Jada Pinkett Smith's I think is gonna roll here. Anybody? Yeah, everyone agrees.
That's who I voted for.
Jada Pinkett Smith, put her through.
Perfect. So now we got Jada Pinkett Smith versus Kathy Lee Gifford right away. I bet they've met. I bet she's been on the last hour today.
Yeah, I feel like they've probably met.
I'm not gonna lie. Jada Pinkett Smith, it's a little hard for me because I feel like Kathy Lee Gifford probably has always been known professionally as Kathy Lee Gifford, and Jada Pinkett was an actress known as Jada Pinkett.
Oh, interesting.
And she just moved her last name to her middle name. So like in Halle Berry's Oscar speech, she calls out Jada Pinkett. It was before she was with Will Smith. So it's hard, but when I literally was trying to think of somebody to add to the bracket, I said, is Jada Pinkett Smith on here? Because of how iconic she is. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, fair.
Okay, put
What
it through.
do you think, Amelia?
Yeah, I buy that. Okay. I mean, the only vote for KLG is the initial test, but no, I'm with it.
And she's very fun. KLG could have beat some other people, but this is a tough matchup. So Jada Pinkett Smith, welcome to the Elite Eight. What do we got next, Sam? Keeping up with the Joneses. Three Joneses.
Famously, there was recently a Super Bowl commercial with a bunch of the famous Joneses. None of these people were invited to be in the famous Jones commercial.
Well, maybe they only invited Jones with two names. I don't know. We were busy working. We were watching cross-country skiing during this.
Akiva, this is one of your better puns.
Keeping up with the I thought they were all good.
It makes sense. It's
Tommy Lee. Yeah.
It was Leslie Jones. Tommy Lee Jones was there.
He was there. Okay.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones. Okay, those are all great Joneses, but most of them are two name celebs. Tommy Lee Jones.
And then one of the Jonas brothers showed up.
That's idiotic.
They're always around.
Well, they said that on the thing. They said you don't. Belong
that was
here.
a commercial. I didn't.
That was the joke.
A little bit. I didn't see every
hilarious
joke.
joke.
Okay. Tommy Lee Jones. Pros, played college football at Harvard.
Okay.
That's a fun fact. Cons, does the Fugitive hold up? Like, if I told you I was going to rewatch The Fugitive tonight, would you think that was weird?
Why wouldn't it?
I don't know. I feel like it. I feel like for a classic movie, people don't.
It glorifies law enforcement in a way.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I just think it's like an old school. Maggie or Amelia, have either of you seen the film The Fugitive?
I haven't seen The Fugitive.
See, told you, Rob. Doesn't hold up. The kids are not watching The Fugitive.
That's not. Does it hold up? That's
what I mean. I just mean like it has been. It's not in the zeitgeist anymore. You know. And fun fact, he's been nominated 5 times for the AARP movie awards for Best Actor.
Yeah,
but he's 0 for 5.
Yeah, there was some talk this week that Tommy Lee Jones's depiction of Two-Face in the Batman and Robin film was not so great.
Okay, interesting. Well, a lot of things in that film were meh.
Also, Catherine Zeta Zeta Jones is hyphenated, right?
Well, let's talk about her. Zeta Jones is from Mumbles, Wales. That's fun. Cons, I saw traffic in the theater with my mom. That was a mistake. And then, fun fact, she has the same birthday, September 25th, as her husband of 21 years, Michael Douglas. He's exactly 25 years older than she is. James Earl Jones. He is Darth Vader. Rob, please explain to Akiva.
Yeah.
So he is like Darth Vader is he a voice? Like
he's the
in a
voice,
box?
right? He's not in the.
I've never seen Star Wars. Okay, fine.
Right.
And he's not the father guy. That's
he is also the voice of Mufasa, but he is not. He does not play Mufasa.
Okay, well that I know. Lion King I've seen.
Right.
Cons, do you know the Sandlot had a sequel? He's in that too. I did not know Sandlot had a sequel. And fun fact, he got sort of, but the Oscar is an honorary, not an acting award. Catherine Zeta Jones, James Earl Jones, Tommy Lee Jones. What do we think? This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Amelia, do you want to go first?
Well, I love Catherine Zeta-Jones, and she was in the movie Intolerable Cruelty, which I saw, which was one of those movies that I saw and I did not understand what was going on. I think I was 10, but I loved it. Like, I just loved the vibe, and I was like, this is what it's like to be an adult. And so she'll always have that for me. But James Earl Jones, I think is same sort of thing, like jumps off the page here to me. That is like, that's the name, that's the guy, like that's the body of work, you know?
Yeah,
that's my first instinct. Tommy Lee Jones is not in contention here for me.
I agree. Tommy Lee Jones has some hits along the way, but James Earl Jones, that voice is iconic. The picture he's pictured here from Coming to America, which didn't even get mentioned. So it's James Earl Jones for me.
I'm going to. It's going to be a clean sweep because James Earl Jones is like the iconic theater actor of the 21st century. So James Earl Jones is my pick too.
Now it would have been interesting had Tommy Lee Jones advanced past this round and had a play-in matchup against Jada Pinkett Smith. We could have had both former partners of Will Smith.
That's right. That's right. But we didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. That's a good point. No, Jada, she's a current partner, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's just things are complicated, I think. But they're
complicated.
Complicated
partnerships with Will Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is next, Sam?
New and busted, old hotness.
One must go.
Or whatever.
John.
You know what I mean.
That is an inside RGP joke. Our friend John likes to do one must goes, which is eight of the same thing. Like
but there's only two things?
There's two things.
John and John. Okay.
John and John. Okay.
It's John versus John. Boy.
Yeah, no, you had to move a little while there for.
Yeah,
so John, people don't know.
City.
No, it's good. It's and I didn't even do this. This is from Robbie Freeman, but I still like it. It's
All right, tell us who we have here for the podcast.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, JTT, one of the great initials of three named actors for sure. Pro is a Mets fan. Cons, he directed a bunch of episodes of Tim Allen's show Last Man Standing, and nobody noticed. Fun fact:
why is it a con? Why
I just feel like
a working director. That's incredible. I'll explain.
I think because Maggie, I think it's like it's cool that he was like his son on the show, and then he directed the show, and you'd think it would have been a big deal, but nobody really noticed. That's all I'm saying.
And Newton John is hyphenated. I will add.
All right, you don't have to vote for her.
Okay.
Pros: Olivia Newton-John, 5 #1 songs. Cons: Does Grease hold up? Fun fact: was in Sharknado.
Does Grease hold up? No. How do you mean? Did young people see Grease, or does the content of some of the subject matter?
Canceled. I don't mean is it canceled. I mean like, do people still care about Grease? Maybe they
do. I think people still care about Grease.
Much more than
I could quote it literally 100%. Right now. I could
sing almost every song.
No doubt.
Okay. Well, listen, I didn't write that line. And then fun fact: she was in Sharknado 5: Global Swarming, which is a funny name.
I didn't know that.
All right.
JTT ONJ. What do you think, Amelia?
First of all, Grease definitely holds up. I think on name, it's JTT for me. And I say it that way because of the way that they say it in the SNL sketch about going home. She says JTT. I think it should be JTT. But yeah, I think name alone, it's probably Jonathan Taylor Thomas for me. I don't have particularly strong feelings about Olivia Newton-John. And that name is just quintessential.
Every girl my age had a JTT poster on her wall in 1994.
And see, he was not my guy. I mean, maybe I was born in 92, so he's not my guy.
It would have been weird if you had at 2 years old had his poster.
Demanding posters, but I still feel positively about it.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, considering that Olivia Newton-John is a hyphenated last name, I would say this would actually be an interesting battle if it was two pure three-name celebrities, but it has to be Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah. Maggie, you agree?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't.
You don't know
really
JTT.
know who,
That's fine.
Who Jonathan Taylor Thomas is? I've heard the name.
Not a Home
very
Improvement person?
handsome.
Yeah, he was very handsome.
Yeah. Oh, he's the son on Home Improvement.
Yeah, he had cancer one episode. That was wild.
Oh,
One
wow.
episode.
But yeah, that's
it was
what
like
I'm
a
going
big,
with.
very special episode, Amelia. It was.
Yeah.
You should.
I believe he was also the. This could be an interesting matchup if he takes on James Earl Jones, because I believe he is the voice of young Simba.
Yes, it is Simba versus.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
That is so cool.
And James Earl Jones was who? Mufasa.
Mufasa.
All right, here we go. It's right now. Simba versus Mufasa. That's fun.
Wow.
Okay.
Simba
Wow.
versus Mufasa.
That is so exciting.
That's wild.
Okay.
What do you think, Rob?
Wow. And now we finally do get the battle of old and busted versus new hotness.
Rob, I do not endorse you calling James Earl Jones old and busted.
Yeah.
Rob, unfortunately, I'm going to be honest. I think James Earl Jones is iconic, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas might be old and busted.
Oh,
this is a reference that is a line from Men in Black that Will Smith described his relationship with Tommy Lee Jones as new hotness and old and busted.
I see.
There's a reference to the partnership of Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith.
Uncanceled.
Yes. Okay. I would say James Earl Jones. Give it to Mufasa.
What do you think, Amelia?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Maggie's agreeing. Of course, he didn't know JTT. You should look up JTT. It'll blow your mind. He was very popular. He's
like, handsome in this photo. Very handsome.
Yeah. But this is I think that's beyond when he was popular.
Yeah. But that's sort of what he looked like. And I'm trying, who would you compare him to? He was like
Devin Siwa. Like that kind of vibe?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit later, Devin Sawa, but JTT,
like
I think.
Zac Efron?
Yes, a little bit Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Amelia, I think his piece was higher than was a lot higher than Devin Sawa's. I'm a big Devin Sawa. Amelia, he was in the Home Improvement was the number one show on TV one year, I think. Yeah, now and then. Devin
now and
Sawa,
then, that's right. Now
yeah. I used to watch that with my sister. Yeah.
All right.
What is next, Mr. Sam? I see alive people. And this is Haley Joel Osment versus Dick Van Dyke. Did you know Dick Van Dyke was still alive? I didn't. That's why this is called that.
What's with you and Chester and Dick Van Dyke?
Why did Chester mention Dick Van Dyke this week?
That I listened to another podcast where Chester and Redacted were talking about, and Chester also said Dick Van Dyke has been dead for a long time when he is in fact alive.
Chester likes to say things very confidently and sometimes be wrong, although people say that I do that too. So
yes.
Haley Joel Osment. He seems to be a well-adjusted adult. That's a pro cons. He loves going on podcasts. He's a frequent podcast guest. We could have him on this show next week if we wanted. Fun fact.
I don't think that hyphen is meant to be there.
Yeah, I don't think there is a hyphen either. I think that's an accident.
Because his sister, Emily Osment, is only one. His last name is not Joel.
So here we have a three-name actor, Haley Joel Osment, who we have mishyphenated.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't worry about it because nobody thought hyphens mattered except for you.
But Rob, I think so.
And
but
Sam.
Then we have Dick Van Dyke, who his last name is Van Dyke. Van is not his last name is not Dyke.
Well, then he should go by Dick Dyke.
But there is no hyphen. I do think that's technically three words.
Rob only hates hyphens. Fun fact.
Because a word with a hyphen is not two words. The hyphen makes it one word.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Haley Joel has been recently filmed a movie called Somebody I Used to Know. If I'm Gautier, hold out for $5 million for the rights to that song. Dick Van Dyke, pros that live Mary Tyler Moore, not nice. Whoever wrote that. Cons, no one under 30 would be able to identify him from this picture alone. I did not write that one.
That's wrong.
That's whoever wrote that is a buffoon. No offense, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact: got married on the radio in 1948, 73 years before Robin and Keith would marry a couple live on a podcast. We're not trendsetters, I guess. It had been done before.
Okay.
Dick Van Dyke. This is a great. Haley Joel Osment, most famous for what he did as a little kid. Nobody likes the pun here. I see a lot of people. All right,
it's fine.
Anyway,
how come Haley Joel isn't getting conned for being in the Entourage movie?
That's a good question.
Good point.
That's a good question, Amelia.
We're not anti-Entourage.
Entourage. Yeah. Okay.
Although,
all right.
You know what made us feel old? We had at least a couple listeners when we discussed Entourage once who said they'd never heard of it before. Like the youngins.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So we gotta keep moving here. I think it's Dick Van Dyke over Haley Joel Osment.
Yep. That's
the
fair.
body of work.
The body of work. Keep it moving, Sam.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. What's this, Akiva?
We have Buffy versus Borat versus Barney.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. Real three-name celebs here. No dashes in town.
Now,
I don't believe.
how is this a play-in bracket when like The Mountain and a bunch of people with hyphen names?
Themes, Rob. Right. It was unseeded. Nobody's seeded here. Yes, these would be three powerhouses and only one could advance. But that's what happens sometimes, you know. Sometimes Kentucky goes up against Wichita State in the second round, and maybe the winner would win the title, but that's not what happened. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Pros. She's been married to FPJ, Freddie Prinze Jr., for 20 years. Isn't that great? Cons. She wrote a cookbook named Stirring Up Food with Fun. That's a very bad name for a cookbook. Fun fact, has not appeared in a movie since 2009. Sacha Baron Cohen. Pros is Borat. Cons, it's still annoying to say the phrase my wife without doing the whole my wife thing. Fun fact, did you know that he won the Golden Globe for playing Borat? No. Well, now you know. Neil Patrick Harris.
And we don't talk about Bruno.
Well, Bruno was fine. NPH, he's a well-adjusted adult, even though he's a child star. Cons, magic, so much magic. I did not write this. Fun fact, obsessed with Red Bull to the point that Red Bull gave him a lifetime supply and mini fridge because the amount of free advertising gave the company. Shout out Red Bull General Counsel and our podcaster, Michelle Denny. Okay.
Yes, but Michelle Denny, one of the greats.
Melissa Denny, excuse me.
Yes.
I was reading Michelle here. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like, does Melissa have a sister who podcasts?
Yeah.
Literally, that was what I thought. I was like, wow,
I
guess I never
SMG, SBC, NPH. Honestly, this is a really, really tough matchup. Three very solid.
Yeah, this is a crazy slide.
You know, honestly, Akiva, I had no clue who I was going to pick until you just said their initials, and I was like, oh, I've heard that initial before.
Yeah, so I feel like of the three, the one that you never hear by initials is the SBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded. I was like, is that a company? That was the
first,
Like, what are we?
It is.
Are we trading stocks?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the SBC is known more for his characters than himself.
It's very, very hard, but because he said SMG, SBC, and then NPH, who I hear NPH often. Neil Patrick Harris perhaps has been in the zeitgeist of everybody's minds more recently than the other two for longer. I'm going to have to go with Neil. I'm going to rally and I'm going to go out of the voting order and I'm going to say Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. NPH has had a wild ride where NPH was a child star and then sort of like was like thrown away. I think he was in Starship Troopers, but then basically was sort of like out of the public eye for, you know, almost like 10 years before he got brought back with How I Met Your Mother and then had a real star turn there. SMG kind of out of the public eye, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, like I said, not been in a movie since 2009. I also wrote like, and this did not. Yeah, NPH, the Doogie Howser thing, the fact that he was a doctor at 14. Who would want a 14-year-old doctor, even if they were the smartest person in the world? That seems nuts to me.
Yeah.
So that's a demerit for me.
Yeah. I don't know how much he was in surgery.
Was he just like giving advice? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was more of like a general practitioner. Yeah,
we could watch that show one day. It's in our. It's in the.
I would love to.
Amelia, what do you think here?
Yeah, I don't care about Borat at all. So Sacha Baron Cohen is out for me. I am a big Buffy fan though. So Sarah Michelle Gellar. To me, also for some reason, the three-name thing feels very 90s. And she feels to me, a la Jennifer Love Hewitt, very like quintessential 90s three-name woman. I do agree, though, ultimately that the NPH thing is pretty powerful. So I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? I have to do.
Ranked choice voting here.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is my ultimate vote, but yes, I would love the opportunity to rank choice.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Neil Patrick Harris. I would have under the cons, famously hated by Chappelle for some reason.
Why?
Chappelle does not care for Neil Patrick Harris. He will be upset, but I'm gonna go with Neil Patrick Harris over SMG, although it's close. And SMG should have been ahead of this is insane that this is
the region. They call this the region of death, Rob.
All these three people could have won their own first round match
easily. But listen, that's not the way the three name cookie crumbles. Maggie, your vote for Neil Patrick Harris, right?
Yes.
And I'm voting for Sacha Baron Cohen, so 2-1-1 NPH wins.
Okay,
let's move to the next slide, Sam. Night versus day. This is a good one. Keisha Knight Pullum versus Sandra Day O'Connor, who is also still alive, like Dick Van Dyke. Keisha Knight Pullum, a wild IMDb page. She won Celebrity Fear Factor. She was the first boot on Celebrity Apprentice and the first boot on Celebrity Diving Show Splash and the second boot on Celebrity Big Brother and an early boot on Celebrity Mole, I think. She has been on every...
Celebrity Big Brother.
It's in there. Yeah. And so she has been on every reality show in town. Fun fact, she was nominated for an Emmy at the age of 6. Sandra Day O'Connor, pro, first ever woman on the Supreme Court, retired Supreme Court justice, receives a full salary. Seems like a scam. Fun fact, I just found out she was a Republican when I wrote this. I did not know that. Anyway, KKP
can I ask
versus
you a
SDC.
Question?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Are you going to ask if O'Connor
is there another Supreme Court justice who's a woman on this list? In this bracket?
No, because she's dead. No offense. It's only living people.
Sandra Day O'Connor's alive?
Huh?
I'm sad that she's dead. But okay. Great.
She's alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been tricky to put RBG on the list because I know I've been saying like that's the type. That's why I didn't include
a winner pick.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I included the deceased people because I feel like that would have been very hard and also would have been as funny to be like trying to parse who's better, Martin Luther King or that would have been ridiculous.
Yeah. I think the historical significance is with Sandra Day O'Connor and not Rudy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sandra occupied like a big part. She has held many offices in Arizona, which is where I grew up. So I feel like I did dozens of projects on her as a kid. Like you have famous women, famous politicians, famous Arizonans. So I've thought a lot about Sandra Day O'Connor.
I'm gonna go with Sandra Day O'Connor as well.
Okay. Sandra Day O'Connor.
Yeah. Also, no relationship with Bill Cosby.
What does that mean? Oh, we can't knock KKP.
Moving on.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I'm going to talk about like what political party she is, but we can't talk about works with Bill Cosby.
Well, I do think her legacy is unfortunately sullied by the fact that you can't watch her most known work anymore. Basically, that is true. I don't know what happened to the names here, but this is
let's just Maggie. I wonder if Akiva ran out the clock, knowing that in a real partisan move, did Akiva run out the clock, knowing that Maggie needs to leave, and that the one person stopping him from
no, I would have run out the clock so you could leave. Honestly, if I was doing it, I would have kept Maggie here.
Wow, what does that mean?
I'm saying she was.
I'd leave the podcast.
I don't know how it would work. I don't know who would record it, but I feel like in terms of voting, you're probably my biggest nemesis.
But I know that I want to be respectful to Maggie. That Maggie, you tell us when it's.
How many more rounds do we have of the first?
This is it.
Okay, so I'll stay for like 10 more minutes, and then and then I do have to go.
Okay.
We have Millie versus Billy, or Billy versus Millie. I think it was supposed to say. I don't know why this didn't make it.
Okay.
Anyway,
who are these
this
people?
Screams first time PowerPointer.
Yeah. Yes. We have
Billies.
I believe my 8-year-old son. This is the slide he helped with, although I don't blame him for that. Millie Bobby Brown starred in the most fun Netflix show of all time. Cons. I didn't write this.
What?
You're annoying, Rob. Who wrote this?
You're a Stranger's Things Stan?
No, I didn't write this. This is from Robbie Freeman. Fun fact: her brother's name is Charlie Brown. That I wrote. Yes, because that's actually a fun fact. Billie Joe Armstrong, the lead singer of the band Green Day. Prose always has the right amount of eyeliner. Cons taught kids how to pronounce melodramatic, but never taught them the definition. Fun fact: he's on the board of directors of Project Chimps, an animal sanctuary for chimps formerly used in research. Billie Jean King, tennis player. Pro, she defeated Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes. Cons, shares a name with a famous Michael Jackson song. Fun fact: she's the shortest tennis player to ever win a Grand Slam at 5'4". That seems wrong. Wasn't like Justine Henin or Den really short? I don't remember. Anyway.
Kiva loves Green Day.
Brown. I do not even like Green Day. I don't know.
I love Green Day.
I mean, they're fine, but they're not like my favorite band. I don't know why you're saying I love Green Day, Rob. They were very popular.
Show.
Honestly,
Green Day. You should have had this guy in the last slide. You could have had Green Day versus Sandra Day.
We could have done that, but then what would have happened to Keisha Knight Pullen? Listen, there was a million strings being pulled, Rob. You can't imagine. Like you pull one out and then 15 brackets fall apart. It's a mess.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, Billie Jean King, Billie Joe Armstrong, Millie Bobby Brown. I know the kids really like Millie Bobby Brown. My daughter's favorite show is Stranger Things.
Honestly, Millie Bobby Brown, in terms of relevance at this current moment of 2022, I think is the most relevant of these three named celebrities.
Okay.
Does that mean I respect her the most?
You think she's done more for women than Billie Jean King?
Absolutely not. But I'm saying if you said to most people right now, who is a 3 named celebrity, Millie Bobby Brown is going to be in the top 10 people that they name over Billie Jean King.
Totally fair.
Okay. All right. Let's vote here.
What do you think, Amelia?
Yeah, I think I feel a little contractually obligated to go with Billie Jean King. Woman in sports, support that. I completely agree with Maggie about cultural relevance, but I'm going to make the vote for Billie Jean King.
Yeah, I don't think any of these people is going too far in the bracket, but I'm going to say Billie Jean King over the other two.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah,
and you've swayed me. We'll make it a clean sweep. I'll say Billie Jean King.
Now, Millie Bobby Brown, she could have beat some other people, and Billie Joe Armstrong, tough matchup here.
Here are the names.
Oh, the names.
There we go. Now we can look at the whole bracket.
What a beautiful photo of Millie Bobby Brown. She looks so old.
Yes.
She looks like an adult woman.
Like growing up in Warp Speed. It's wild.
Yeah.
Kids these days, right?
Okay, and Sam, you can share the bracket now, but let's quickly do the the 2 round of Sweet 16 matchups we didn't do. Dick Van Dyke versus NPH. I assume we're all doing NPH, but
NPH.
Yes.
Rob, that's fine.
Yes.
And now so we have Billie Jean King and Sandra Day O'Connor.
You love pitting women against each other.
I honestly, just for like my own brain, I'm going to pick Billie Jean King.
Yeah, I think Billie Jean King is
as a representative to the women, the 3 named women. She's who I want.
I feel like that probably the more important woman historically, I think, is probably the first Supreme Court justice over. Although I feel like that Billie Jean King is a cleaner 3 names. So I'll say like one of the names is an O with a hyphen and O'Connor.
Good call back to last week.
Just because they broke the glass ceiling doesn't mean they always support the glass ceiling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me Billie Jean King.
All right. Very good. By the way, someone said that because we had O'Reilly's Auto Parts in the TV jingles last week, and they got an ad during the podcast.
I get it too. Yeah, they're
that's wild.
Prolific advertisers.
Okay. All right. So now we're down to
that
the final
earworm out there.
We could finish this pretty quick. Let's go up to the top quadrant. We got SJP versus Evan Rachel Wood, and I think SJP is going to run away with this. I don't think we need to really go too far into this.
No,
and just like that, and she's just in the final 4.
Well, that's why they pay Rob the big bucks. That's why. That's why RAANAP built Rob's house. And then Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Francis Ford Coppola.
Ooh.
Okay. What do we think here, Amelia? You want to start?
Yeah. Do I think I'm going to go with Jennifer Love Hewitt here. That is a 3 name quintessential for me.
Yeah. To me, I mean, if anybody found out that we had in the final 4 of our 3 name celebrity bracket, Francis Ford Coppola was there.
What's going to happen?
We would be the laughing stocks. Jennifer Love Hewitt has to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Advancing to the final 4.
I agree. You think they'd bully us and give us wedgies? Or whatever.
This is some advanced bracket technology that's going on.
Alex Chester made this. It's excellent.
Okay.
This was the soda tournament we did in person where we put 32 sodas in a bracket, and I just covered over the sodas with celebrities.
Okay. Okay.
Jada
Excel Shannon must be really just watching
foaming
it
at
all.
the mouth. Yeah, she's so jealous. Jada Pinkett Smith versus James Earl Jones. This is a good matchup here.
I have to go with. I'm going to rally for my pick, and I'm going to say James Earl Jones because of the simple fact that at one point Jada was only known as Jada Pinkett.
That's a good point.
And James Earl Jones has always been James Earl Jones, and I think he is incredibly iconic. So
yeah, maybe father of the 3-name celebrity.
Yeah, I like Jada Pinkett Smith, but I think if you look at her like filmography, it's not Final Four worthy in my opinion.
Okay,
and come at me if you will, but James Earl Jones just has a better.
I'd put
body of work.
You have no dispute from me.
Nice aesthetic symmetry too. J-E-J.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And then NPH Billie Jean King. This is a good matchup. It's tough. And Rob, we have no hyphens left, right? We don't have any.
Well, no hyphens are left.
Okay, so everyone's happy.
Yeah, but I feel like this is I gotta go. Neil Patrick Harris. I feel like that Neil Patrick Harris versus Sarah Michelle. Is it Gellar or Gellar?
Gellar.
Okay.
Is that a Friends joke?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know because it's Ross Gellar. I don't know if they ever said that on Friends.
Yeah. So I would say that this is NPH here, and I feel like he had tougher battles against Sacha Baron Cohen and SMG in the first round.
He has been through the first round wars in the Thrifty 32, and now he's I hear what you're saying. It's true.
And the Starship Troopers wars.
I mean, Billie Jean King has like worked her way through many more brackets than Neil Patrick Harris, if you think about it.
Yes, but this is one man she's not going to beat in a head-to-head matchup.
All right. Well, that's what you think. Amelia, where are you going here?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my vote for Billie Jean King. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Neil Patrick Harris. So Akiva.
I really like Billie Jean King. I like it as a name. If I'm going to include the name at all, I like the name Neil Patrick Harris better, and I like the NPH initials. So I think I'm going NPH here.
That's fine.
Okay.
And we have our final four, which is Sarah Jessica Parker, Jennifer Love Hewitt, James Earl Jones, and Neil Patrick. I have to say, very strong final four. I don't think people are going to. People will be mad at some of the arguing in the first round, but I think people can't really argue with the final four, although they always do.
They always do. All right.
So SJP versus JLH. What do we think? Anybody have any hot takes here? This could be this. I could drop a hot take. I think whoever wins this matchup is the champion. I think this is the stronger region.
And I think that my champion is the very first person we talked about. I'm lobbying my pick for Sarah Jessica Parker.
Name, initials, career longevity, multi-talented.
Yeah.
Like it just, I have no criticism whatsoever to Jennifer Love Hewitt, but it feels like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I think a better career. By the way,
if she was Jennifer Love Parker, I'd give some consideration.
JLP,
but
that's a good.
JLP. Not,
you don't
not
like the name Hewitt.
Yeah.
You don't love the name Hewitt.
I'm not a big Hewitt, not a big Hewitt guy. I think on every imaginable criteria. I think Sarah Jessica Parker is the superior to Jennifer Love Hewitt. Body of work, name recognition, initial usage.
Yeah. No, Amelia never used her veto. So, Amelia, in theory, you could kick anybody out here and put your own person in.
That would be fun. No, I feel happy with where we've gotten to at this point.
Okay,
I don't
perfect.
feel the need to utilize my veto.
James Earl Jones versus Neil Patrick Harris for the right to play against Sarah Jessica Parker in the title game. Rob, what are you thinking here?
Boy, this is tough.
How iconic is he in the Star Wars universe? Because I don't know Star Wars. Amelia and Maggie, are you Star Wars fans?
He's the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah, but but he's the voice. He's not like his face isn't in the movie. So how important is he in like?
Okay,
is he like Star Wars?
Akiva, I'm going to take actually Star Wars out of it. And I'm going to talk about
The Sandlot.
I'm going to talk about black actors in general. He is like the iconic in his time. Like he played He was
Field of
the
Dreams.
original. He was in the original August Wilson's Fences on Broadway. Like he is the part that Denzel played in the movie was what he played on Broadway. Like he is the ultimate of that time period, prolific Black actors. And I think that he like for any Black actor, whoever wants to work, like he is who you look to. So I am going to say, I think that like in terms of relevance and history beyond his contributions to Star Wars. His contribution to
that's a negative for me, the Star Wars stuff.
Like his contribution to Black actors in general. You have to it's you know, you can't even like he has Sam is saying he just got a theater named after him. Like that's how iconic he is.
Well,
so I'm gonna say James Earl Jones.
Is right.
And the power of the voice, like that.
It is one of the great voices in history.
It's so special. And it is him, but it also stands alone from him. So I just feel like I got to go James Earl Jones.
I will say
and
this.
Great points by Maggie.
Who's more relevant now? NPH or JEJ?
I think if you ask a person of color, if you ask a Black person, they're going to say James Earl Jones.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like, I feel like
Neil Patrick Harris has not worked a ton since the
end he has on Broadway.
On Broadway.
He's done a lot on Broadway.
Yeah. Robinson count Broadway because it's not on IMDb.
It's not on TV.
James Earl Jones was in the Coming to America too, right?
Yes.
America, so
which was on Amazon Prime.
There you go.
So JJ, Rob, are you voting JJ?
Boy, compelling arguments for James Earl Jones. Coming into this, James Earl Jones was not sort of top of mind as a 3-name celebrity, but he certainly qualifies and has the superior body of work to Neil Patrick Harris, who really is best known for, you know, his work on How I Met Your Mother, which, you know, famously did not have a great ending. Maybe his run here should not have a great ending.
Okay. Very poetic.
All right, go James Earl Jones. You talked me into it.
All right, James Earl Jones. Great speech there from Mags. I think we have SJP versus James Earl Jones in the final. We could talk about it if you want, and then we'll vote the way we do in the championship game, where we'll all say our winner on the count of 3. But does anybody have any takes here before any impassioned speeches or anything, or should we just vote?
I'll say that James Earl Jones does not have the acronym going for him.
It's a problem.
True.
James Earl Jones in a vacuum is not it's a good name, but I don't love Earl. I don't love my name is Earl. You know,
I think it's good because it's all one syllable. Each name is one syllable.
James Earl Jones.
So the way that when you say SJP, it's all one syllable. Like, but JEJ doesn't roll
JJ's
off
hard
the
to
tongue.
say.
Yeah.
Judge.
But James Earl Jones does roll off the tongue more than Sarah Jessica Parker.
That's true.
So,
yeah. If we're going
I have my choice. I made my decision.
All right. Is anybody else? Should we count to 3? Sam, do you want to come on and count us down? So we're always mixed up if it's 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1.
Sure. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then you say the name.
Okay, fine. I'm very nervous.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
All right. I think that was unanimous. Is that unanimous?
And just like that, look who's the winner.
You should have saved it for the championship. That was good.
I didn't know how far I was going to go. Okay.
Thank you so much, Robbie Freeman, for your work. Thank you so much, Chester, for making that bracket. Sam, for doing this. All right, Rob. Yeah. First of all, we got the whole thing done with Maggie, which is
all right. So let's let Maggie run. Maggie, of course, Maggie. Where else can people hear you?
Yep.
People can hear me starting this week in the Hot Dummies on Islands feed for the new season of Temptation Island. Seriously, check it out with my co-host Kirsten McInnes. I'm doing the finale of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the 3rd part of the reunion.
Oh my God.
Podcast with Jacob Jones. We've literally been podcasting this for 6 months. We started September 13th.
Oh my God.
So now we're finishing. And you can hear me talking about Big Brother Canada sometime.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Also, Maggie is one of the best there is on the live feed updates with Taryn. Is it still Maggie Mondays this season?
Yes, but I'm not going to be able to do it this upcoming Monday. Okay. I have to work, but
right?
Upcoming, Big Brother Canada.
Akiva's a quarter
Thank
Canadian.
you for saying that, Rob.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, Maggie, thank you for making the time. I know that we kept you longer than we were supposed to. Thank you, Maggie. Okay.
Thanks, Maggie.
Bye.
Okay.
Congrats to SJP.
Congrats. I'm sure somebody send a memo to her.
She seems like the type
send a message to her publicist.
She's on Broadway right now. I'll just run down there and
after the bad PR of And Just Like That.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will appreciate some good pub.
Imagine being too famous to care about being named the best. Like that should be her Twitter bio if she's on Twitter. I don't know if she is.
Okay.
All right. So Rob, we have to stop down here. How do you think that went? Do you think we're gonna do another bracket next week now?
Do I have to decide now?
No, you don't have to decide now. Go to the mail. Amelia. So to explain, I invited Amelia on. I don't know how familiar she is with this world. I'd say not familiar. What we do is the second half of the podcast, we take listener suggestions. Well, not half. Second, it's a little.
Yep. No, I think last third. Yeah, last third.
It will be very short. No, it'll be very short today. Listeners submit,
and you're allowed to not stay. You don't have.
As you see, Maggie just left midstream.
It's kind of a power move.
I describe my out as 4:15 because I have to get ready for hibachi. So if you want me, I'm happy to stay.
Well, how about you stay for a little bit? You don't have to stay for the whole time. You could, because I have a little game for the two of you to play.
Okay.
So the listeners submit ideas, and if we like those ideas, we put this on a wheel, and at the end of the podcast, this is spinning a wheel, and that is what we do next week on Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast.
Cool.
So a little different sometimes in bracket season, where we really just do bracket ideas, a separate wheel, but. Okay. Rob has to also allow us to do another bracket. We'll see what he's up to. So, Rob, should we move on to the mailbag?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's go to the mailbag. Let's talk about some ideas for the mailbag. Any other ideas for brackets? And then we'll decide if we'll have another bracket next week or we'll spin the wheel. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here, and we will be right back after this. Actually, before we go to break, Amelia, would you like to hear a short introduction to the mailbag song, or a longer one that has a different verse, or one that would only have a different verse that is like a remix of the first one, but without the first half?
Second option.
The second option. All right. All right. Full bore. Okay. And now for real, we'll be right back after this. Okay. And for everybody watching the YouTube, we're stopping the video now. Go listen to Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast. Subscribe at robhasawebsite.com/RAANAP feed. That's RAANAP feed if you want to hear the mailbag. Take care, everybody. Bye.